Scratches this evening for the visiting Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm Philadelphia welcome to the visiting Toronto Rock. Number 4, Jesse Gamble. Number 5, Sandy Chapman.
Sucks.
Number 7, Colin Doyle.
Sucks.
Number 9, Patrick Merrill.
Sucks.
Number 10, Rob Hellier. Number 13, Garrett Billings.
Sucks.
Number 14, Rob Marshall. Number 17, Stefan LeBlanc. Number 19, Josh Sanderson. Number 21, Bill Greer. Number 33, Casey Bearns. Number 35, Brandon Miller. Number 37, Ethan O'Connor. Number 45, Damon Edwards. Number 66, Nick Rose. Number 71, Kevin Ross. Number 88, Scott Johnston. And number 91, Bill Hostrauser. Some noise as we welcome your Philadelphia way from Syracuse University, number 11, Joel White. A defender, number 31, John Ranagan. From Duke University, a defender, number 5, Michael A forward, number 91, Kyle Buchanan. At transition, number 7, Kyle Sweeney. From the United States Military Academy, number 99, Garrett Toole. Number 9, CJ Constable. A forward, number 14, Pat Saunders. Number 30, Kevin Croswell. A forward, number 63, Tracy Kowalski. Number 12, Kyle Fountain. A forward, number 4, Ryan Ward. A defender, number 16, Stephen Hoare. A defender from the University of Delaware, Brent Manning. From Stony Brook University, a forward, number 21, Kevin Crowley. A forward from the University of Delaware, number 44, in Hall. Tonight's starting goalie, number 51, Evan Kerr. And your captain, number 17, Brody Merrill. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your Philadelphia Wings. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's game officials. The crew chief this evening, Mr. Chris Williams. The assistant referee, Mr. Roger Nurse. Shot clock operator, Dave Seidman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask that you would all please rise as we welcome the Waldron Mercy Academy Choir to perform the Canadian National Anthem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as the Waldron Mercy Academy sings God Bless America and the national anthem of the United States of America.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for exciting National Lacrosse League action. Hi everybody, I'm Dave Walls with the play-by-play of tonight's game with the Philadelphia Wings hosting the Toronto Rock. And alongside me is Bill Chris. Bill from MarylandSportsInsider.com, been covering lacrosse for many years now at all levels, including the National Lacrosse League and here at the Philadelphia Wings. So excited to have you a part of tonight's broadcast, Bill. Kind of a tale of two teams really trying to fight for this last third spot in the Eastern Division playoff race. The home team, the Philadelphia Wings, in the midst of a 6-game slide in a season that has gone all wrong in the second half here. But despite all of that, they still control their playoff destiny, albeit they're going to have to win out the rest of the season.
It's definitely a tough road to hoe for the Philadelphia Wings. Fortunately for them, they are within striking distance of this Toronto Rock team. They put together a streak of successful wins. We could see them very well in the playoffs.
We absolutely could. Unfortunately, if the Wings lose this one, all Eastern Division teams will hold the tiebreaker over Philadelphia, making it all but impossible. Mathematically not eliminated, but certainly would be a tough road to hoe. For the Toronto Rock, a season that got off to a pretty good start for them has had a very rough and shaky middle, still sitting at a record of 5-7, that is. Toronto controls the third position in the East, and Bill, they're also going to do so with the help of a couple former Wings on their bench this week.
That's right. We have Brandon Miller on the bench. He's going to be their backup goaltender, backing up Nick Rose. Brandon, a staple in the Philadelphia community over the past, I believe, 7 years.
Right.
He has been a true Philadelphia Wing, and it's going to be sad to see him suiting up in that Toronto Rock jersey. We also have Kevin Ross on the opposing team for Toronto as well.
Yeah, both those players moved over right at the NLL trade line earlier in the week. So certainly the fans giving both players a nice warm round of applause as they came into the Wells Fargo Center during introductions tonight. Game time just about ready to happen here. So glad you're watching the game out there with us tonight on wherever you are watching it here. Got a good-sized crowd here at the Wells Fargo Center. The Philadelphia Wings wearing their home white jerseys with red and black trim. The Toronto Rock wearing their famous Canadian blue, red, and white jerseys with the maple leaf in the center. We are ready to go. Let's go down to the field for exciting action. And off the face-off violation with Philadelphia will take possession. Now for you fans who are watching the NLL for the first time, give you a quick rundown. 30-second shot clock is in play. Teams have 8 seconds to get the ball across the center timeline, and 5-on-5 action is the way we do it here in the NLL. Philadelphia starts off with the ball first, try to hit a streaking Kevin Crowley, the former #1 draft pick out of Stony Brook University. He's unable to kick, but Philly gets the ball back with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Far side, the Pat Saunders from Ontario played his lacrosse with the junior B team from Toronto. Tries a bounce shot in, but Nick Rose, the Toronto goaltender, equal to the challenge. And 30 seconds in, here comes the Toronto Rock for their first possession on offense. And Bill, when you look at offense, Stephen LeBlanc has really been lighting it up this season so far for the Toronto Rock.
Yeah, LeBlanc doing a great job for the Toronto Rock, but you also can't forget about everyone else out there as well, Garrett Billings included.
Yeah, Garrett Billings, and also the big captain who's been a long-time veteran of the NLL, and Colin Doyle. Break the other way, it's the former Rock, Kyle Belton. The ball gets knocked in. Referee waves it off, however, as Belton goes down. He falls into the crease. That's a crease violation. Wave off that goal, so Toronto catches an early break 1 minute in with no score. Yeah, Belton coming over in that trade, as we mentioned, for Wings goaltender Brandon Miller. Here's a run in on that, and LeBlanc himself steps in the crease. Of every stoppage of play, the team has to turn the ball over immediately, otherwise facing a 2-minute delay of game call. That's what Toronto does, and it's the veteran from Springfield, Pennsylvania, Kyle Sweeney out there. Bill, good to see Sweeney out there getting more playing time. This is a Wings team that is desperately need of veteran leadership, and that's exactly what Sweeney brings.
And he also is a spark plug out there, not willing to take anything and willing to give the business back to the other team as well.
Yeah, Garrett Thule on the left-hand side there with a shot. Nick Rose with a shoulder save. Minute and a half in, no score. And now it's Damon Edwards who brings the ball. Big physical transition player who's done some damage to the Wings in recent years. Had a couple big transition goals last year in the last game here at the Wells Fargo Center. A 10-9 overtime victory the Wings had. The Wings generally actually have been doing fairly well in late March and early April games the past several years here at the Wells Fargo Center. Overall, though, Toronto Rock does control the overall series 26-15, and the Rock even hold a lead here 12-8. That just shows you how good that Toronto has been here against these Philadelphia Wings. They bring the ball up now. Assistant captain Brett Manny brings across, the former University of Delaware player, a local fixture here in Philadelphia. And Kevin Crowley now holds the ball on the right-hand side, rolls into the slot. Here's a shot and a score! Wings fans have to love that one, Bill, as Kevin Crowley, he takes more shots than anybody on the Wings here. He gets one to go, and the Wings strike first, 2:22 into the first. It's 1-0.
And, we talked to Kevin Crowley earlier in the week, and he did take personal accountability for his shooting, and it looks like he's got it maybe back on track here tonight with an exciting goal to start off the game.
Absolutely.
Scored by number 21, Kevin Crowley. The assist, number 91, Kyle Buchanan, along with number 13, Brett Manny. Time of that goal, 2 minutes, 16 seconds.
So the Wings strike first of the 1-0 score, and like you mentioned, Bill, Kevin Crowley has taken a ton of shots. He's already in the top 10 all-time for shots taken by a Philadelphia Wing. As here's another shot right back at a score. And just like that, that's how quickly the action and the momentum can change in the National Lacrosse League, as right away it's Garrett Billings tying it up at 1.
And, any time you have lacrosse going on the field, you have to stay on the hands. And the Wings were not successful staying on the hands of Billings, giving him that room, and he buried that shot.
He absolutely did. Billings has been a scoring machine.
Number 13, Garrett Billings, the assist, number 17, Stephen LeBlanc, along with number 33, Casey Behrens. Time of that goal, 2 minutes, 41 seconds.
And for you fans who are watching the NLL for the first time, you're going to see action back and forth faster than any other game you've ever seen. You can see runs 3, 4, 5 in a row. And really, Bill, in that kind of situation, all these teams know that runs can happen, and they can happen in large numbers. They can happen in droughtages, droughts, that is, and shortages. You can see scoring runs of all kinds here in the NLL. As a player, you've got to be ready to handle that at any time.
Exactly. And we've even seen the Wings come back from 5-6 points down this season. This team is fully capable of hanging with any team in this league. It's just sometimes they've come out on the short end of the stick. Sometimes it's been a penalty. Sometimes they just let the other team go on big runs. They just have not been able to put together that complete game.
You're absolutely right. We've seen this. It's almost been a season of how should I say? It's been a season of moral victories for the Philadelphia Wings. Edmonton currently coming into the season. Here's a shot the other way off the breakaway. Rebound picked up by Stephen Hoare. He shoots. Whoa, 2 big saves by Nick Rose, as it was Brody Merrill on the initial breakaway and the former Rock player Stephen Hoare on the breakaway. Toronto catches a break there. But as we were saying, it's been a season of moral victories because Philadelphia has been hanging with everybody. Anybody who saw Philadelphia play last year, lots of big blowout games. They had a 5-game skid last season and still made the playoffs. Here they're in a 6-game one. But meanwhile, Edmonton's 11-0. Philly has arguably given them the toughest run they had this year in an 8-6 loss. But Philly, while they've been hanging, you're right, they haven't put together a full 60 minutes of action.
And it's unfortunate, and while moral victories don't really count for anything in the standings, as a fan, you get to see that improvement out there. It's encouraging as a fan, but also from a fan, you want to see W's as well.
3-on-2 breakaway for the Wings the other way. Here's the shot, just misses the outside, and that is John Rannigan. Rannigan had Rose beat to the low right-hand side, but it just skims back and hits the back of the net. So Toronto catches a break, moves the other way, moving it as Edwards. He shoots. That's blocked, never gets through by Kyle Belton. Long outlet pass the other way for Stephen Hoare. Hits his man breaking off the bench. Wide open. Here's a shot and a score. Pat Saunders, the Ontario native. I tell you what, Philadelphia has given him the chance to run. He has paid off in big dividends, and the Wings at 4:51 now take the lead again, 2-1.
And Dave, I tell you, that's exactly what the Wings need to do. They need to take it to Toronto. They need to get these transition goals. They need to bury them. They need to do 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 fakes. It doesn't matter. Get the ball in the back of the net on these transitions. That has been an Achilles heel this season.
So as Saunders gets a breakaway, you take a look at the replay here. Boy, great stick work and hands, and it was also great downfield visualization by Stephen Hoare, catching the man breaking off the bench. And like we said, if you're watching the NLL for the first time, it's that kind of exciting back-and-forth action that can get you hooked as a fan here. Very fast, very physical action. So Toronto now down 2-1. As we mentioned, the Wings have kind of, they've had Toronto's number in the late games of the season here at the Wells Fargo Center in recent years, and this is certainly a game Philadelphia needs. 9:35 left to go here in the first, and it's Toronto ball. 5-on-5 set on the left-hand side. Working at his Billings. He's got some pressure, puts on. Bounce shot's going to go wide. However, picked up by Sanderson. 5 on the shot clock, winding down to LeBlanc. LeBlanc working one-on-one. Going to have to shoot. He's not seeing the shot clock, and that's a shot clock violation. And with that comes our first media timeout. 9:19 left to go. It's a 2-1 score as the Philadelphia Wings lead the Toronto Rock. We'll take a break and be back in a moment. This is the National Lacrosse League.
special on caps. Today only. Visit shopwingslax.com for all of your wings gear. Hot Diggity Dogs award-winning hot dogs and dogs from each corner of these United States bring you outrageous dog combinations.
.9:19 left to go here in the first quarter. The Philadelphia Wings 2, Toronto Rock 1. Welcome to the National Lacrosse League, everybody. Dave Walls and Bill Chris from MarylandSportsInsider.com. Glad you're along for the ride here from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Bill, again, you got to be happy with the start that Philadelphia has had here with 2 quick goals against Toronto. But like you said, they've had a real problem so far this season in stringing together 60 minutes of full action.
Yeah, like you said, sometimes we've seen a hot first quarter, but then, the foot comes off the gas in the second and third, and then we're playing catch-up in the fourth. So it's going to be up to the Wings whether or not they want to make it to the playoffs. If they do, got to keep the foot on the gas the whole game.
Pat Saunders had a pretty golden opportunity there, but now a whistle behind the play. It's going to be an over and back violation. So actually Philadelphia catches a break there as Saunders missed the open net. So 2-1 your score, under 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And like I said, Philly's been getting off to some hot starts. They've lost a couple close battles. Minnesota came back with a nice fourth quarter rally against Philadelphia earlier in the season to help give Minnesota the tiebreaker. In fact, they've won 2 very tight matchups against Philadelphia here, did the Minnesota Storm. Here's a shot and a score. And Toronto ties it up 2-2 off the beautiful bounce shot. As you take a look at the replay here, it's going to be Rob Hellier on the bounce. He just takes a little stutter step and boy, just cranks up the overhand shot right there.
And again, Toronto getting that separation from the defenseman, enabling them to get a clear shot on the goal.
Toronto goal scored by number 10, Rob Hellier. The assist, number 13, Garrett Billings, along with number 17, Stephen LeBlanc. Time of that goal, 6 minutes, 24 seconds.
So at 6:24, the game is now tied up 2-2. And something that hasn't been mentioned much this season so far, Bill, is the fact that a lot of these Wings defensive, particularly on defense, these defensive players are primarily American, whereas a majority of the players across the National Lacrosse League are from Canadian descent, where maybe the box version of lacrosse is a little more natural to them. What kind of struggles does that create for an American player?
I think, they have to get used to being in these tight quarters, and that's something that a lot of the Canadian players who do play this sport over and over again up in their leagues, and that's something that we don't have here is that development.
Here's a shot on the breakaway and a score. The captain, Brody Merrill, capitalizes. He laid out Colin Doyle from Toronto on the far side. Doyle's slow to get up, and Merrill, the veteran presence, is able to run down the field and find the shot, tucking it in the crossbar, and it's a Wings lead 3-2.
And again, good to see the Wings going out there on transition and burying the ball in the back of the net.
This is a Wings team that is stocked of transition speed, and certainly even the veteran shows that he can do it right here. As we take a look at the replay, Merrill's going to streak upfield, and he says, hey, boys, I can put it in the net too. Boom, puts it up where Grandma keeps the cookies, and it's 3-2. So Philadelphia hanging with Toronto right now. Certainly in a couple of the more recent games, Philadelphia's had a tough time hanging with opponents early. An attempted behind the back pass for LeBlanc goes awry, but they pick it back up. Big collision with Michael Manley, the big player from Duke University. And this is another bounce shot save made by the Philadelphia goaltender, Evan Kirk. So now the ball loose on the turf. Back the other way is Sweeney. Sweeney gets drilled. Good clean hit that time. Put down by Toronto. That's a type of hard-hitting action that you're going to see a lot of times in these transition plays. But Toronto finally able to pick it back up. And now with the shot clock reset, it's Patrick Merrill who's able to get it for Toronto. Breakaway. Here's a shot and a score. Bang, bang play. Patrick Merrill with the eyes moving down the field, finding Sandy Chapman, tying it up at 3.
And the big thing here, again, you got to keep your head on a swivel. That everyone seemed to be preoccupied with Patrick Merrill, enabling him to get that crossfield pass.
As you take a look at the replay here, it was good footwork as well as Sandy Chapman. You can't step on that crease line before the ball crosses the goal line, and I think that's a pretty good shot right there, as Chapman clearly kept the foot just out of the crease. So good play by Toronto. Both coaches in the NLL do have one challenge that they can use. Just like the NFL, they can throw their challenge flag out on the field if they so no desire, but Wings head coach Blaine Harrison opting not to use it there, and I think as we saw the replay, a good shot. 10-9, shots on goal favoring the Philadelphia Wings. We're tied up to 3. Josh Sanderson was breaking the other way, unable to connect, and a good job by Stephen Hoare in getting the man off the play. Outlet pass up ahead, fails to connect, and now Toronto will take over with 6:38 left to go here in the first quarter, 3-3. Colin Doyle, the longtime captain for Toronto, as he rolls out. Sanderson has it now, throwing it over to the left-hand side. Here's a sidearm shot. Good save made by Kirk. Doesn't know where it is officially, but now he picks it back up, and it's going to be Joel White, transition player from Syracuse. He's done a lot of great things for Philadelphia since coming over with them last year. Delayed penalty behind the play. Going to go up against Toronto as Tracy Koleski for the Wings got knocked down. Evan Kirk heads to the bench, empty net, 6-on-5 extra attacker situation. So just like the NHL, you get a penalty, you can go up, man up like that. Ball goes loose into the corner, falls into the stick of Nick Rose, but we are going to have that penalty, and the Wings will go on the first power play of the game.
This is a great opportunity for the Wings to regain this lead on the power play here. The Wings, they do move the ball well on the power play. So again, the big problem has just been getting the ball in the cage. So we'll see if we can get that lead back and make it 4-3 Wings.
The illegal cross-check call comes against Patrick Merrill. So two-minute power play coming for Philadelphia. So the 5-on-4 advantage. Ryan Ward, the longtime former Wing and Edmonton Rush out there as Crowley shoots and scores. 2 goals right away for Kevin Crowley. Wings fans have to love it. Bang, bang play. Only seconds into the power play, and the Wings go back into the lead, 4-3.
Again, as I mentioned, the Wings are able to move the ball very well on the power play, and Crowley able to execute and bury the ball. So great job by Kevin Crowley there with the goal.
As we were talking before the game, Bill, about Kevin Crowley takes more shots in the NLL than just about anybody. But the types of shots that Crowley has been taking in this game are not the shots that he normally takes. These are much higher percentage shots, closer to the crease, through some traffic, whereas Crowley is kind of grown accustomed to shooting it from the outside and hoping it goes in from there. And that's sort of a field tactic that you kind of want to avoid in the indoor game.
And, sometimes they say, in order to get out of your funk, you got to keep shooting. But sometimes you also got to take a look at where you're shooting from. And it looks like he's maybe made that correction here tonight.
He has so far. A legal screen called on Toronto, so Philadelphia takes the ball back the other way. As Tracy Koleski, the longtime veteran, out now. Kyle Sweeney taking a spill behind the play. Now Kyle Buchanan, former Vancouver South player, now in his second year in the league. First year with the Wings, having a pretty good year or two so far. Tracy Koleski, the longtime veteran. His shot deflected, never gets through. He's mixing it up right now in the middle. Ball still loose on the turf. 5 seconds on the shot clock. As Jordan Hall picks it up, going to have to hurry though. 2-1, he'll just dump it into the corners. That's a shot clock violation. And with that, we're going to get our second media timeout. The Wings capitalizing on the power play. Kevin Crowley's second goal of the game makes it Philadelphia in the lead, 4-3. Back after this. This is the National Lacrosse League.
Tonight's Gladiator lucky seat is Jack. There's our winner right there. Congratulations. He's received the prize pack provided by Gladiator Custom Mouth Guards.
Welcome back to the Wells Fargo Center. Dave Walls, Bill Chris with National Lacrosse League action as the Wings up 4-3 over the Toronto Rock. 4:51 to go here in the first. Shots on goal right now favoring the Philadelphia Wings, 11-10. Toronto will get the ball here after the media timeout, and we're again talking about shot selection, and so far Philadelphia's transition game has opened up a lot of the shot opportunities. Philadelphia has always had the legs in the middle of the field, and certainly adding the former Rock player Kyle Belton has helped, but we've seen an added spring in the step, if you will, of Philadelphia, as that shot will go off Evan Kirk and up into the netting, so it makes a fresh 30 seconds for Philadelphia.
And the Wings were talking again before the game about wanting to get a fresh start, and for them the season basically starts tonight in order for them to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, this is basically the equivalent of a playoff game for the Philadelphia Wings. While they wouldn't technically be eliminated from playoff contention, it would all but do it, as they would need to win out and then get some additional help in order to do so. Colin Doyle with the ball near side, 9 on the shot clock. Clock winding down, looking for some traffic. Now finds a screen in front of him. He'll try to have to shoot it with 4, 3. Clock winding down. Tries to find a man in the crease as Brett Manny works on Casey Biernes.
And that was a great job by Brett Manny offside, sticking with his man and not letting Toronto get that quick shot right next to the crease.
So Philadelphia moves back the other way. Kyle Buchanan, he shoots and a score! Oh, that was the equivalent of the old softball underhand toss, as it looked like it was going to be the fastball. Instead, he throws the changeup up into the corner, and it's now a 5-3 lead.
And I tell you, Rose was just sitting there, just kind of watching it go past his shoulder. Great shot there by Buchanan.
And Buchanan has been on a bit of a cold streak as far as putting it in, so great to see Buchanan getting the action here. As we take a look at the replay, Buchanan with a nice stutter step. It looks like he's going to go for a spin, and it just floats into the corner. And it'll be interesting to see, Bill, if this game continues like this, as the Wings have the ball back the other way. It'll be interesting to see if Nick Rose continues like this. You wonder if Toronto is going to make Brandon Miller getting up against his whole team. As a diving play by Jordan Hall just misses. Tell you what, acrobatic play by the University of Delaware prodigy, unable to connect, however, and Toronto gets the ball the other way.
I tell you, if that went in, that would have been definitely a Sports Center moment right there.
Absolutely. Get the highlight reels ready, as that was a very, very acrobatic play. 5-3 your score. Wings up on shots, 13-11. Hope you're enjoying National Lacrosse League action tonight as we take a look now. Here's a shot going the other way, and I don't know if Biernes ever got the shot off. He doesn't now. A breakaway going the other way from Philadelphia. However, unable to get the stick on the ball is Stephen Horse, and now he'll pull back as both teams go off for their line changes.
And we definitely saw Belton making an impact there, knocking him to the ground, preventing the goal.
Ryan Ward throws over far side to Hall. Now looks for Crowley in the slot. Oh, what a save by Nick Rose that time. Gives it the old sweeping motion to the right-hand side. Throws the shot away, and Nick Rose lets Philadelphia know he's not going anywhere just yet. Sweeps it away and keeps it to a 2-goal lead. Now here's a charge the other side for Toronto. Unable to connect, but picked up on the far side by Hellier. 15 on the shot clock. 2:40 to go here in the first. Philadelphia settling down, good physical action on the far side with CJ Costabile and Hellier as well. Doyle near side with 8 on the shot clock. Looking for a screen, now fires it, easy save for Kirk. Rebound picked up, however. Trapped in the backfield, Philadelphia will toss it up ahead to John Rannigan. Rannigan from John Hopkins. He's no stranger to big physical action in the middle of the field, and he's been known to get a couple breakaways here in his rookie season for the Wings.
And I tell you, he was absolutely thrilled to get that goal in the first game of the season.
Rannigan's been turning on the Jets and doing a good job. Jordan Hall's putting the ball a lot in the net for Philadelphia. He's got one-on-one matchup with 7 on the clock. Finds himself trapped, though, by O'Connor, Ethan O'Connor. He shoots it in, and the dunk and score. No, official waves it off. And now we'll see if challenge flag will come from Blaine Harrison and company. I think they want a replay. Don't know that we're going to get one. They're looking up at the board. Very, very close play is Jordan Hall. You'll see it a lot of times in the NLL. They go for the dunk play. Some people call it the air gate off Gary Gates' famous goal at Syracuse where he jumped from the back of the net. And as the challenge flag is not thrown within 20 seconds, play will resume with 10 on the shot clock.
And I think his foot hit while the ball was bouncing and then going in.
Oh, beautiful save. Evan Kirk as the former wing. Kevin Ross found Josh Sanderson home on the doorstep. He makes his bread and butter down there, but Kirk equaled the save, and now Kyle Belton finds himself the other way. Talking with the Toronto Rock management before the game, they said they loved Belton. He did damage against Philadelphia last year for sure. As here's a shot by Crowley as it's defended away. Sandy Chapman, another player going down, and now we're going to have an illegal push by Toronto. And now Garrett Thule, someone getting ready to drop the gloves. They're up in each other's grill. Garrett Thule from the United States Military Academy. Not exactly the guy you want to be throwing punches against, but well, I tell you what, both these guys exchanging words, and now few punches are thrown. It'll be interesting to see what penalties actually come out, as both players were grabbing face masks, grabbing jerseys, but it was the Toronto Rock player in number 88, Scott Johnson, who actually threw a punch or two. So we'll have to take a look here and see what penalties are called. But certainly with a big player like Garrett Thule, you gotta be very, very careful if you're going to get mixed up with someone like him.
Never mind a guy from the United States Military Academy as well, where they train you how to defend yourself.
That's absolutely. But Thule is a big boy out in the field. Let me tell you, folks, he's 6'5", 6'6" out there, and he's got the girth behind him to match it. So, as he's having a pretty good rookie campaign as well for the Wings. So,
and I tell you, he loves playing out here on this Wells Fargo floor. He's a Wings fan growing up, and he just gets fired up out there.
Wings penalty assessed to number 99, Garrett Thule, each 2 minutes for roughing.
So both get 2 for roughing, and now a delayed penalty behind the play. Here's a shot. Save made by Roses. Jordan Hall's helmet gets knocked off. Now we get a whistle, stoppage of play, and we're going to get the cross-checking call, I believe. And so now we're going to get a 5-on-4. Second power play of the game coming up for the Philadelphia Wings. As anytime you see a helmet fly off, you're usually going to see an official put his hand in the air.
Definitely, with all the research and everything on concussions, anytime a helmet comes off, they're going to call it. And it's the right call, too.
So is another Toronto Rock player goes to the bench. We'll go on the power play here, 5-on-4. 1:04 left to go here in the first.
Toronto penalty assessed to number 9, Patrick Merrill. A 2-minute penalty for an illegal cross-check. Time of that penalty, 13 minutes, 56 seconds.
So as Merrill goes off for his second penalty of the game, the Wings go on their second power play. 1 for 1 as Crowley already with 2. Maybe looking for the first quarter hat trick. Instead throws it over far side. Was looking for Ward moving through the crease. And now a bounce shot underhand play by Crowley. Ball bounces away, goes into the Toronto bench, and that'll be out of bounds. So it goes over to the Toronto Rock. 43 seconds left as it's Jesse Gamble. Gamble, one of the better transition players in the game, not necessarily for his size or even his speed, although he has that. What he has, though, Bill, is he's got a lot of ferocity out in that field. I've heard other people call him like a flea, like he is just out there digging, and he makes things happen for this Toronto Rock team.
And transition is definitely when things happen in this league, either through pass, shot, loose ball. Transition players are special players out there, and they are just a breed of their own.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the modified rules that the NLL has implemented to make speed even more a bigger part of the game. A team that has good transition play, like we've seen out of Edmonton, can do a lot of damage. 2 seconds on the clock. Here's a bounce shot from outside by Crowley, and the first quarter winds down with the Wings unable to convert. Still 50 seconds left to go on the power play when we come back for the second quarter. At the end of 1, Philadelphia 5, Toronto 3. This is the National Lacrosse League. Welcome back. Quarter number 2 about to get underway with the Philadelphia Wings up 5-3 over the Toronto Rock. Hi, everybody. Dave Walls here along with Bill Chris of MarylandSportsInsider.com here at the Wells Fargo Center for exciting National Lacrosse League action. And so far, it's been Philadelphia's game here early, although Toronto at points, Bill, looked like they were maybe in position to start taking control. It's been Philadelphia's ferocity on the transition game and the breakaways, and also Kevin Crowley really stepping up with some high-quality shots.
Yeah, Crowley getting some shots closer to the goal, higher percentage shots, and they're finding the back of the net, and that's been a big problem for him this season, so kudos to him for stepping up here in the first quarter.
Meanwhile, I'm sorry, Bill, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, in addition, I agree with you on the point on the Wings' defense ferocity. They're They're looking good. They're staying on the hands for the most part. So it's going to be exciting to see if they can keep that up.
And on the flip side for Toronto, they've had some brief flashes on offense, certainly hanging with the Wings in the early part. But so far, Nick Rose already given up 5 goals in the first quarter. Give me your impressions on him and the shots that he's faced. Do you think he gets a bit of a tighter leash tonight, knowing he's got Brandon Miller in back of him?
I don't think they want to. I don't know. It's a hard one to say because, for them, it might benefit them getting Miller in there since this is technically still his home arena from this season.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Toronto coaching staff does with John Lovell and everyone over at Toronto. But certainly, still a lot of game left to be played here. It's the third quarter getting ready to get underway as the Wings have a power play still, 56 more seconds. The opening faceoff also, something for you new fans we haven't really mentioned. That's a big part of it as well. Stephen Hoare, you just see take the faceoff from Philadelphia, number 16, as a delayed penalty is going to be called. And I believe this one's going up against Philadelphia. The back official calls it for a holding call, so wipe off that 47 seconds of power play time. But Bill, as we were starting to say, face-off percentages can make or break a game for a team, knowing you're going to be the first one out of the gate and you can control the tempo of play right off the bat. That can really make or break a team.
It does, and it all comes down to whether or not you have the ball on offense or defense. I mean, it sounds simple, but by controlling the face-off, you're getting the ball in your offensive end, and the big thing is you're keeping the other team from scoring.
So with a 4-on-4 now for the next 35 seconds, a lot of room out there, and here's a shot and a score. Oh, what a beautiful play by Garrett Billings. He takes a dive on the turf, gets knocked down, puts it into the net for his troubles, even strength goal, and it's a 5-4 Wings lead.
Billings with just a fantastic shot, fantastic concentration, staying with that play as he was being knocked to the ground.
As Billings now has been in the upper echelon of point scorers all season long. He shows why here, as really defensively, he got by his defender, but he took a hard shot on the way down. Billings showing what kind of tough player he is. Still 4-on-4, though, for the next 32 seconds. And the Wings win the faceoff off the faceoff violation, and now Jordan Hall will control it near side. Jordan Hall flips it over to Saunders. Room to move. Shoots. Oh, beautiful. Shrug save by Nick Rose. He just got the left hand off the stick and was able to swat it away, as I thought Saunders might have found some room over on the near side, but Rose with a good move to make it still at a 1-goal game. And now with 8 seconds left to go on the initial penalty of Patrick Merrill, the Rock are going to get about 1:12 of power play time in 2-1, and we are now on the power play for the Toronto Rock. 10 on the shot clock. A minute in here to the second. It's a 1-goal game. Pass goes awry off the boards. Billings picks it up with 5. They go for the one-timer. Down low. Here's a shot and a score. The captain, Colin Doyle, puts it in as it's now a tie game, 5-5.
And Billings finding the cross field pass and Doyle getting it just right past Kirk. Kirk getting the elbow up but unable to make the stop.
Few players are able to contribute at the level that Colin Doyle has contributed at for so many years now, as Doyle made his way around through the Stealth organization out west, and now he finds himself a longtime captain here in Toronto. And now, a minute and a half in here to into the second, it's now a 5-5 game. Jesse Gamble has the ball as he brings it across, and looking for some transition help, he flips it over onto the near side, and Toronto controls play with Rob Marshall out on the field. Hellier has the ball near side, flips it up top to Billings. Player knocked down, going to be an illegal screen, however. Kind of like an illegal pick in the NBA. Can't do that. The referees call it, so it's a turnover violation. Over to Rannigan, trying to work the fast break. Rannigan into the slot. Shot, shoulder save. Easy one by Rose as he flips that down, and now Toronto tries to run it back the other way. Here comes Johnston. Hill instead pull it up that way. And again, you just see the speed of play pick up on both sides. Both teams trying to work some transition strategy here, Bill.
And the Wings doing a good job getting out of the box, getting set back up on defense to avoid a potential fast break situation.
And one thing that makes the NLL so exciting is not only the transition play. Here's a shot at another score. Josh Sanderson, as we mentioned earlier, he makes his bread and butter down by the crease. And I tell you what, he made a couple sandwiches on that one as you take a look, tiptoeing the line and stuffing it in over the shoulder to give Toronto their first lead of the game at 6-5.
And again, the Wings look like they were maybe ball watching a little bit, keeping their eyes forward, and was able to sneak in behind and get the quick goal.
Yeah, no defender within 2 steps that time, as Joel White was nearest one. But you're right, I think someone got caught ball watching. And now Evan Kirk's going to come to the bench. Bit of a strange move here, as obviously in the NLL you can have goaltender substitutions back and forth. And so now we're going to see Kevin Croswell come in and build. Kevin Croswell is a goaltender just recently signed after Brandon Miller goes away in the trade. But Croswell is a goaltender who actually actually was on Philadelphia last year, but performed pretty poorly, I think it's safe to say. And he comes back now having been re-signed this year. It'll be interesting to see what he's been doing in order to boost his game. A quick play for Philadelphia. Here's a shot by Brody Merrill, trying to go for 2 transition goals in a row as Garrett Thule gets nailed up high. Officials decide to put the whistle away there. Helmet got jarred. Takes a lot to jar a guy from the military academy, but he did so there. Now, quick play back the other way. Good save made by Croswell. Ball rolls loose into the corner. Reset shot clock, however. Bill Greer trying to pick it up. Joel White ends up kicking it away. And now Philadelphia will run it back with Rannigan and Joel White. However, Rannigan can't control. White picks it up nicely. 1-on-1. White shoots. Easy save that time made by Rose. White had a good transition goal last year, Bill, up in Toronto. A game Philadelphia was down 7-4 with 5 minutes to go. White, in his, I believe, his first or second game with Philadelphia, picks up an amazing diving Sports Center top 10 type goal, and he's able to stuff that in, and Philadelphia comes back to win that one 8-7.
Yeah, White always seems to be able to get the shots, but the problem that I found with him is that it's the execution of getting the ball into the net. Looks like he needs to add a few more fakes into his repertoire, and I think he would be dangerous if he did that.
I completely agree, but the Wings love him for what he is right now, and that's an upper echelon transition guy. We've seen him bounce like a pinball off defenders as he's able to slice through the midfield action. Good play so far by Croswell. Here's a shot, hit the crossbar. So no over and back violation, but Philadelphia is going to have to give chase. And now here's a 1-0 breakaway. Johnson gets knocked down. An illegal screen as Ward knocks him down, but I think the Philadelphia staff will take that one as Johnson. He picks it up cleanly. It's a 1-0 breakaway, but it will be Toronto ball trying to hit Sanderson quickly off the bench. And now a crease violation. No, they're going to call another loose ball violation as well. Brody Merrill doesn't like that call, as Sanderson got knocked down in front of the crease. So again, officials giving play to Toronto. 11:21 to go here in the second. 6-5 Toronto. And now finally, again, Billings gets, that's a third straight loose ball violation. And now Constable will work 1-on-1 on the far side against LeBlanc. LeBlanc will have to bounce back out. So Toronto getting multiple opportunities here off some loose ball violations. And now here's a wide open play in front of the net. Croswell shuts down the 5-hole that time. Constable actually comes up a little gimpy in the backside of the field, but he's able to rock it off to the bench.
And Dave, one thing that if you notice that the Rock is actually getting in front of their defenders, and we're actually having to play from behind. The Wings are lucky that they were able to get a stick in on that one.
As Philadelphia comes back the other way, here's a shot that gets deflected up and away. They're going to say that just the stick got knocked, didn't go off anybody, so Toronto's ball, fresh 30-second shot clock, moving the other way. Sandy Chapman has it, finds the man off the bench. Here's a shot, goes wide, rebound put in, and Croswell, again, hugging the post. I tell you what, you got to like what you've seen out of Croswell here in the early goings. Croswell had a couple of appearances last season, just didn't cut it. Rannigan with a good spin move, but loses control, doesn't get a real clean shot off. Ethan O'Connor picks it back up, and he'll run quickly back the other way, 2-on-1. That's how fast we move here in the NLL. Wide open in front of the net. Here's a shot and a score. Scott Johnston. Again, quick transition play back the other way. Johnson was able to wiggle his way down low to the crease, and the Rock now up 2.
And I tell you, Croswell was just frozen. You can see his knees kind of buckle on the fakes as Johnson was putting the ball in.
And I know a lot of you first-time NLL fans are looking at that and go, look at all the pads that guy is wearing. How can he not make the save? Well, I tell you what, the ball moves so fast in lacrosse. A lot of these shots from the outside, the goaltenders don't even see. It's a lot about positioning. As now Croswell is coming back out. He's given Evan Kirk enough of a relief. But still, for Philadelphia, I think you do have to give a bit of a round of applause for Croswell there, as he made several saves already. We've had a lot of shots on goal. Only 10-13 left to go here in the second. We've already seen 23 out of Toronto, 20 out of Philadelphia, but Evan Kirk is the guy they want starting. They put him back of the net, and the face-off is won by Toronto.
One concern, though, is the fact that they've swapped out goalies again, especially this early in the game. You want to get some consistency within the goal, and swapping them out definitely doesn't keep them in that warmed-up phase.
No, I certainly agree with you there, Bill, but given the rally that Kirk was on, letting in a couple of goals early, I think it was a pretty smart play by Philadelphia to at least give him a break. I'm surprised they pulled Croswell after one goal, as Saunders rolls inside, shoots, hits the crossbar. Oh, he beat Nick Rose cleanly that time. I tell you what, it rang off both crossbars, but as Toronto picks up the ball, they walk through their own crease. You can't do that. It'll be a turnover when we come back from this media timeout. 9:42 left to go in the second. It's the Toronto Rock 7, Philadelphia Wings 5. This is the National Lacrosse League. 9:42 left to go here in the second. The Toronto Rock up by 2, 7-5. Dave Walls along with Bill Chris bringing you exciting National Lacrosse League action here from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Hope you are enjoying this one. Philadelphia running their annual Bark in the Bowl promotion. People bringing their dogs out to the stadium. Tell you what, Bill, it was actually a funny night when they first did it 2 years ago against the Colorado Mammoth. They had the dogs in the stadium. I can distinctly remember every time the goal horn sounding, which can happen a lot here in the NLL. Every time the goal horn sounded, you'd always hear a couple dogs howling in the background, and always made for an exciting atmosphere. As this Philadelphia crowd, I tell you what, has not been the best of years, but they're standing by their wings and certainly seeing some exciting action here today.
Yeah, these Wings fans are great, and it's Thunderstick night as well, so lots of noise being made out there in the stands. I feel bad for the dogs out there. They have sensitive ears, and this might be driving them crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? They even have the indoor areas where you can walk the dogs, so certainly if it drives them crazy, they've made all the proper plans. Here's the Wells Fargo Center. Diving shot inside that time by, I believe, Jordan Hall. Goes awry, but the Wings are able to pick it back up. Over and back violation, though. Crowley stepped on the line and then went over the line, so that's a turnover by Philadelphia. And it's Johnson who picks it quickly back up, and Toronto will get possession back the other way. As we were mentioning, going out of the last break, Nick Rose has done a fairly decent job for Toronto. Certainly he settled it down here for a little bit, but the Philadelphia has gotten their shots here against him and beaten them a couple times, just they found the iron instead of the back of the net.
Yeah, and it's just a simple adjustment. If they can squeeze the shots in just a little bit more to the inside, we could be looking at a tie game, even a Wings 8-7 lead possibly with as many posts that were hit.
Evan Kirk with 2 good saves, and Brody Merrill gets the ball up and across the timeline. 8 seconds to do so here in the National Lacrosse League, and he does so. 7-5. Toronto is currently leading with 8:40 left to go here in the second. 15 on the shot clock. Merrill holds. He's out there with Thule and Hall on the left-hand side. Ward, and I believe that's Kevin Crowley on the far side. Thule dives it, but he gets checked away. Never gets the ball out of his stick. Thule loves those crease dives. He had success with them earlier in the season, been on a bit of a cold streak lately, and also battled some injuries as Edwards lets a rocket through. And as we were mentioning, the speed of these shots, a lot of these shots can go over 100 miles an hour. That's why the goaltenders, A, need this type of equipment, especially indoors, but B, a lot of times you say, the goaltender's not moving. Well, a lot of times, Bill, they just don't see the ball.
Yeah, that ball shoots out of those sticks like a rocket. I tell you what, as a defender, I would be fearing for my life having to take one of those shots straight on.
Absolutely. I mean, you see hard shots in the outside game, make no mistake about it, but with the size of the field and the indoor game being much smaller, players really have to have hearts of steel, strong intestinal fortitude, however you'd like to say it, in order to face the speed of the shots you see here in the NLL. And I'd encourage anyone to find the NLL team nearest you and attend the game and go right down to the boards, and you're going to see the speed of the shots that we're talking about. 7:45 to go here in the second. 5 on the shot clock. Shot gets blocked, never goes through, and it rolls harmlessly into the stick of Evan Kirk. So Kirk has kind of settled it down here since he's come back into the game about 3-4 minutes ago. And then Kyle Belton, the former Rock, comes back over and gets the ball up and across the timeline. Garrett Thule out there for Philadelphia. Flips it over to Saunders, far side, 15 on the shot clock. Now rolling inside is Crowley. He pops, fires. Oh, bounce shot that time actually beat Rose. Rose must have gotten a piece, however. Goes up into the netting, and a fresh 30-second clock for Philadelphia.
And again, Crowley getting the ball on the goal, which is important.
And also Crowley, like we mentioned earlier, the inside presence. He's able to at least take a step up into the slot area and get a little bit closer. As that time, I think it was going to be a pass by Crowley. I think he was looking that time to connect with a wing player down low and Garrett Thule, but unable to do so, and instead rolls harmlessly into the chest of Nick Rose. It'll go down as a shot, although I don't think it was intended to be that way. Near side, Jesse Gamble and Rannigan going at it. Ball's up top with Hellier. He's got room to run. Shoots, bounces wide. Ball still loose. Kirk will have to come out of his net and play it. 6:40 to go here in the second. 7-5 Toronto. Long outlet pass up and ahead for Rannigan. Rannigan controlling, looking for help coming off the bench. And Bill, something we had talked about, not only transition, but at the types of transition plays, there's really 2 big types that you're going to see. The breakaway, which I'm sure any fan with any sport is going to be familiar with. Here's a shot and a score! Kevin Crowley gets the hat trick, and it's a 1-goal game at 7-6.
And Crowley again getting that good close shot and getting the ball past Rose. Excellent timing for a Wings goal. Hopefully it gets the momentum swinging back their way.
As I believe Kevin Crowley is the one who got the goal, but we'll get the official call.
The hat trick on the night, number 21, Kevin
as Kevin Crowley and Ryan Ward were in the same area. Broke out in some beads of sweat there, but as you see, Jordan Hall feeds Crowley, and you see there he gives 2 or 3 good stick fakes and is able to, he's taken actually a little bit off of his game. I think he used to actually overthink it a little bit when he would move inside, and we've seen a little bit more confidence. Right back again with a shot and a score! And I tell you what, before we're back from the replay again, another great shot, this time coming from Kyle Buchanan. We've got a tie ball game, 7-7.
And great job by Buchanan there, getting the ball past Rose. Good job for the Wings seizing the momentum back here in the second quarter. Again, keep the foot on the gas, and let's see if we can keep burying a few more.
I tell you what, in the NLL, you cannot blink. We've seen multiple times this season goals go back-to-back, 5 seconds, 6, 7 seconds. It can happen all the time. As you take a look, here's the replay. Buchanan he just does a simple one-step in sidearm shot, and with the traffic there's no way Rose is going to see that on the 26th shot from Philadelphia. We've got a tie game at 7-7 as the Wings win the face-off, and there's a good buzz going around here at the Wells Fargo Center. As we've mentioned, this is a Wings team still in the middle of a 6-game slide as Crowley, room to run, moving in, shot, kick, save made by Nick Rose. However, the loose rebound picked up by Garrett Thule. I don't think anybody actually saw the ball that time, but Thule says, all right, boys, I'll scoop this one up. So Philadelphia controls, still a full shot clock, 20 seconds, loose rebound picked up, shot and a score! Ryan Ward, first shot, nope, second shot wide, third shot, picks it up, stuffs it in a 3-goal rally, and we mentioned it earlier, runs happen in the NLL, Wings on a 3-goal run, back in the lead, 8-7.
And great job by Ryan Ward sticking with that play, catching the rebound and bearing it past Rose. This Wings team does not quit.
You'll take a look here in the replay a second. You want to talk about staying with a play. Ryan Ward misses the initial one, gets the lucky rebound to pick it up a second time. How often are you going to see a player get that third one off the glass as well, as we've got an injured Toronto Rock player down on the floor. Clock stopped here with 5:33 left to go here in the second, so we'll keep the action right here. In fact, we'll go right here. Hi, everybody. Dave Walls here from the Wells Fargo Center. Hoping you're enjoying this exciting National Lacrosse League action here today. Alongside me, Bill Chris from MarylandSportsInsider.com. And Bill, we mentioned runs happen in here in the NLL, and Nick Rose has done a pretty good job of kind of keeping everything level for Toronto, not letting it get too out of control. But Philadelphia, with 3 goals on 3 straight possessions here, finds Toronto reeling just a little bit.
Crowley bearing that goal, and it was just what the doctor ordered to get the Wings back on track. You had Crowley, you had Buchanan, and then you have Ward, puts them right back in this ball game.
So as Toronto helps their injured player off the field, it's Scott Johnson who's going to go head off to the bench. So again, play is stopped. He actually heads off to the bench, getting looked at by the medical staff for the Toronto Rock. Our officiating crew today, Chris Williams, the crew chief, the assistant referee, Roger Nurse. He was the one who blew the play dead. Face-off coming right now. Constable, you outdoor lacrosse fans will note, as here's the play by Ward. Once, nope, twice, 3 times, stuffs it in. 3rd time is the charm there, as Ward is going to get it there. As you outside lacrosse fans might know, Bill, remember C.J. Constable. Now remind everyone who C.J. Constable was in college lacrosse and why he's so famous coming in.
Bearing the game-winning goal in the national championship game, he was the man for Duke.
He was. That overtime game against Notre Dame. Here's a shot save made by Kirk. Loose rebound picked up briefly by Brody Merrill as he and Kevin Ross are tied up. And now Philadelphia's going to have to hurry to get that ball up and across the timeline. He did. C.J. Constable, as Rannigan runs it back the other way. Check put on. Good one that time as it takes off some of the velocity of the shot for the Rose save. But, Constable wins the face-off himself, scoops it up, runs it right in overtime, and gets in the winner. Now here's Toronto back the other way. 4:38 left to go here in the second. 8-7. Philadelphia has come back to take a 1-goal lead. 30 shots on goal for the Wings, 26 for the Rock. Garrett Billings backing down near the face-off circle, now into the slide. Here's a shot that hit the post. Someone shot it from the outside, I believe Stephen LeBlanc. He beat Evan Kirk on the low right-hand side post, but just kicked out. So in that case, no over and back violation, and Toronto regroups.
Philadelphia dodging a bullet on that one.
Far side, Doyle runs in, finds the room closed off by White and Rannigan. Said we'll throw it far side for Billings. 13 on the shot clock, 4 minutes to go here in the first half. One-timer and a score! And just like that, that's the veteran presence that this Toronto Rock team has. They cool it down, able to find the man breaking to the crease. The give and go works, and at 4 minutes left to go in the second, we got a tie game at 8.
And I tell you, it's pretty cool watching Billings out there and just how patient he is. Drew pretty much a double and then found Hellier on the backside.
Yeah, again, you mentioned that veteran presence again, and having the vision to know Hellier was going to break on the give and go that time, and it worked there. So with 4 minutes left to go here in the second, a tie ball game, 8-8. And I tell you what, Philadelphia, to be honest with you, has had trouble putting 8 goals up in a game period as Toronto rallies quickly. Here's a shot save made, rebound, and another beautiful save by Kirk. Johnston was there to pick it up and able to get the ball neatly over to Joel White, and Philadelphia is going to have to hurry, and they just do so with 7 seconds gone on the shot clock. So Philadelphia regroups now with 3.5 to go here. Wings regrouping far side. Crowley with a nice shoulder dive in. Here's a shot save made by Rose with a stick. Loose rebound fought for, initially controlled by Philadelphia and Kelusky, but he's unable to get, and now Toronto will come back the other way. Shots have evened up a little bit, 31-30 in favor of Philadelphia. Long distance shot save made by the Kirk. Loose rebound picked up by Brody Merrill. He runs. He's looking for someone breaking off the bench that time, and he finds him in Buchanan. However, Buchanan can't control, but Belton there to pick it up. So Philadelphia regroups. Now they'll get their full offensive 5 out there. Billy, you saw that Philadelphia tried to do something we were talking about a little bit earlier as Thule now finds Kelusky. He shoots and a score! Tracy Kelusky, the longtime veteran in the NLL, has made a difference here on this Wings offense and overall with the team as he puts Philadelphia back in the lead 9-8.
What a great assist on that play, and even better job by Kelusky going across the body of Rose and getting it over his far shoulder from where he was shooting from.
As Kelusky comes over from Buffalo, and Bill, he's a player that a lot of people in the NLL thought he looks done. His numbers have gone down every year with Buffalo over the past couple seasons. He comes in here to Philadelphia, and something got charged up in Tracy Kelusky in the offseason. And coming here, he just looks much more comfortable on offense.
And I tell you, everyone you talk to on the Wings loves this guy, and he's a great locker room presence for them as well.
Tracy Kelusky's goal puts Philadelphia up 9-8. This is the National Lacrosse League. Welcome back. 2:57 left to go here in the second. The Philadelphia Wings 9, the Toronto Rock 8. Fans, the best way to get new gear is to go to shop.nll.com. It's the place to go for all your gear and clothes and apparel for the National Lacrosse League. We've got selections from all 9 teams, and with, flat rate shipping and no hassle, 365-day returns. The National Lacrosse League, shop.nll.com, powered by Fanatics. Well, Dave Walls here at the Wells Fargo Center alongside me, Bill Chris, as the Bark in the Bowl fan cam is out and about right now. As we mentioned, you see dogs of all ages and sizes enjoying the game, and I tell you what, we have heard some howling here. And Bill, we've seen a lot of howling going on in the field, some fast shots, some real hard-hitting action, more than I think we've seen in the past few Wings game. And Tracy Kelusky's big goal right before the break gives Philadelphia a 9-8 lead.
And I tell you, both teams here want the win, and they're scratching and clawing, no pun intended, with the dogs here, but both teams fighting for a chance to possibly go to the playoffs.
Philadelphia needs this win to at least have a chance over a tiebreaker at Toronto. Toronto sitting with a 5-7 record. Philadelphia 3-9. But so far, this is only the second matchup between these two teams, and this win would go a long way in getting Philadelphia back into the serious contention for the playoffs. Pat Saunders near side, 9 seconds on the shot clock, throws over to Crowley and back of the net with 5 to Buchanan. Up top to Crowley, going to have to shoot. He shoots and scores! Bounce shot from the outside. Kevin Crowley's got 4 in the first half, and with 2:12 to go before the half, the Wings into double digits, 10-8.
I tell you, Crowley is on fire tonight. firing that bounce shot past Rose. It is good to see Mr. Crowley back in action out there.
And I tell you what, the confidence Kevin Crowley has to fire a shot like that when you know he's had the hot hand inside. The last thing you really want maybe as a coach for Philadelphia is for Crowley to start taking those outside shots. Crowley saw the path he had, and he threw the bounce shot in there, where I think in maybe recent games he would have gone for the straight overhand shot to try to hit the upper corner. You know, Crowley showing a little bit of wisdom there, going for the bouncer as Rose had, stepped out of the crease a little bit, found some room, and the Wings now up 10-8. Illegal screen as we return to live action. So a turnover by Toronto, and Philadelphia with all the momentum. Under 2 to go here in the first. Attempted to hit Kyle Buchanan off the bench, but the Wings pick the ball back up and they will reset. Bill, something the Wings do a lot here in the NLL is they do 2 types of transition plays. The breakaway, which every fan knows, and then they also do the play off the bench where they try to hit a breaking man off the bench. And certainly it's something that's worked a lot in recent years, especially over the last season or two with the big bodies like Thule and also formerly Drew Westerveld, as Thule himself tried to go for the air gate style dunk. The ball actually sat on top of the crease, rolls off, so Toronto catching a bit of a break there as with 90 seconds left to go. Philadelphia up by 2.
And that's a big boy going up in the air there. I thought he was going to get it, but good job by Rose slamming the door.
Yeah, Rose just got enough of that one, and also give credit to the defense in Toronto who was able to check Thule from really getting the full extension on that shot. 8 on the shot clock, 1:10 left to go in the half. Going to have to move his Billings. 4-3. He's got a good pressure put on him. He's not going to get the shot off in time as Billings just runs out of time. Shot clock violation. Brody Merrill and Brett Manny threw the 6 down on him and did not allow him entry anywhere close to the crease. And now under a minute to go here in the first half. Shots on goal don't really tell the story here, 34-33, although that is a lot even for an NLL game as Ryan Ward shoots from the outside. Stick save made by Rose. 45 to go in the half. 2-on-2 breakaway the other way. Gamble tries to run upfield. Big hard hit in the middle of the field. Now Edwards has it. Tries to hit a man into the slot as Colin Doyle. Picked up by Brody Merrill. 3-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Merrill kicks it upfield. Merrill looks to the bench, and now Merrill's going to call the timeout. He's calling for it. Officials don't see it. Now they finally do. 22.4 seconds left to go. So now the Wings will call a timeout, and we'll keep the action right here with 22 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Dave Walls alongside Bill Chris. And Bill, something you see a lot in the National Lacrosse League is these teams only have one timeout that they can use for either a challenge or for a timeout purpose. Brody Merrill electing to use it here, and the Wings are going to go for a 6-on-5 last shot type of situation.
And it's going to be very important for them to get this shot because this can also carry momentum over to the third quarter here. So it's always good to go out on a positive note, especially going into halftime.
Yeah, 19 seconds left on the shot clock, so the Wings argumentably can really hold this for a last possession situation. So Philadelphia is going to go into the half with at least some sort of lead, but certainly you put 3 up and then you start to put a little bit of doubt in the heads of Toronto. There's a big difference in this league going up 2 and going up 3, especially going into the locker room. So as we get ready to get back underway again, the Wings are going to come out with a 6-on-5 advantage here as Evan Kirk, the goaltender, is on the bench for the Philadelphia Wings. Nick Rose has stayed in bench the whole game, and I'll be honest with you, Bill, if I'm a coach for Toronto, I need Nick Rose to make a statement to me on this play. He needs to come up with a big save, a big-time play in this one. He's had little shining moments, but to allow Philadelphia to put 10 up on them in the first half, I think you need to make that kind of save to give the coaching staff just a little bit more confidence in you.
I tell you, doubt is a dangerous thing, and if Philadelphia buries one in the net here, Toronto's going into the locker room with doubt in their mind, and that's going to possibly play a role going into the third quarter. 11
seconds left to go in the half. 7 on the shot clock. Philadelphia moving to Jordan Hall. Moving in, finding Thule. He puts it in and he scores! 4.8 seconds left to go. And it's the Wings going up by 3, 11-8.
That was a beautiful play, even better finished by Thule, powering the ball past Rose.
Challenge flag has been thrown by John Lovell and company, so we're going to get to take another look at this one. Nick Rose was signaling it from the get-go, so we will take a look at the replays here. The rules are basically like you've seen everywhere else. We take a look at the replay. Thule's going to come alongside it. I think that's a good goal.
I think it is as well. I think you needed to do that challenge, especially with how much time is left in the quarter.
So as we come back to you here, the officials will take a look at it, and I'll ask my producer alongside me today, John Barcher, to keep me me up to date on that replay. Dave Walls along with Bill Chris. And again, the rules of the National Lacrosse League, no part of your body can touch or enter the crease, even on the line, until that ball crosses into the net. And on that play, it looked like Garrett Thule had just a little bit of green space left between him and the crease line. Now, certainly Thule entered the crease, but Bill, it was after the ball crossed the line.
And it looked like he was very cognizant as to what he was doing and had his feet behind the line. I fully agree with you.
All right, so as players come out, it is a good goal. The replay challenge does not work. So Garrett Thule puts Philadelphia up by 3, still 4.8 seconds left to go. And as we know from a long time of watching the NLL, 4.8 seconds can be an eternity. It all depends what happens here on the faceoff. If I'm CJ Costabile, I'm pushing this ball down into the turf as far as I can get it, and I'm going to go into the locker room up 3. Let's see what happens. Face-off with Constable and Toronto. They're able to kick it out. Philadelphia gets it. Maybe a chance for a long-distance shot. Merrill with the one-timer play. Oh, what a beautiful attempt by Philadelphia, but they're unable to convert. But at the end of the first half, it's Philadelphia throwing it in early and often. The Wings 11, Toronto 8. This is the National Lacrosse League. And welcome back, everybody. It is halftime here in Philadelphia. What a game we've got going for you here. The Philadelphia Wings up by 3, 11-8 over the Toronto Rock. Hi, everybody. Dave Walls. Alongside me, Bill Chris from MarylandSportsInsider.com. Saying a special hello to everyone watching out on YouTube. We're recording this game for the Universal Sports Network, so haven't been able to do the fan interaction tonight, but I hope you are definitely watching that one. As Bill, what a game we've got going on here so far. Philadelphia throwing it in early and often, and almost a physical, kind of old school feel for the Wings, as we've seen much more physical play, and you have to be impressed by the confidence that has come out of nowhere from Kevin Crowley.
It is. Welcome back, Mr. Crowley. It is great to see him, exuding confidence, burying the shots that he needs to bury, and I think this Wings team is feeding off of him because everyone is just out there. There's no quit. They're pushing back. They're fighting back. Good job by the Wings, being aggressive, staying aggressive, weathering the storm a little bit in the second quarter, but able to take the lead going into halftime.
The Philadelphia Wings have won the National Lacrosse League Championship 6 times, but have not won a championship, or should I say a playoff game even, since they defeated Toronto in the 2001 championship. So a long dry spell here for Philadelphia, and certainly the fan base is just dying for some physical action, dying for some hard-hitting plays, and they're certainly getting that tonight. Bill, let's take a look quickly as we go down the score sheet here. The first quarter, Kevin Crowley gets us started at 2:16, making it 1-0. Back and forth action, however, as Toronto responds with Garrett Billings. Saunders responds for Philly. Hellier, and we're tied up 2-2. And then, again, after Brody Merrill and Sandy Chapman go back and forth, it's then Philadelphia who closes out the first with another one from Crowley and Buchanan, making it 5-3. And certainly it was a tight first quarter, but you had to be impressed with the play that came not only out of Kevin Crowley, but we saw, again, a much more physical action from Philadelphia. And for Toronto, Nick Rose has had an up-and-down game, I think, to say the least.
Yeah, and some of it's his fault, some of it's not. One thing in particular, especially I believe it was Buchanan that had that change-up shot that just kind of left him staring. So again, Rose hasn't had the best of seasons this year, which is going to play into the Wings' advantage today. Perhaps we get to see Brandon Miller, perhaps not. That's going to be something to stay tuned for in the second half.
We thought we might see Brandon Miller at the beginning of the second quarter, but Toronto ends up giving Nick Rose some help as they go on a 4-0 run of their own. Billings, Doyle's in the power play. Sanderson and Scott Johnson within 4:47 give Toronto a 7-5 lead. And it looked like Toronto was trying to move forward to make this a little bit more of an open game. You'll recall, NLL fans, that Toronto won the first matchup between these two teams by a score of 20-10. They put him on it in the double digits. But Philadelphia responds right away with a 3-goal run of their own, and it all comes within 28 seconds of each other. Crowley, Buchanan, and then the unassisted 3-shot attempt by Ryan Ward. He puts it in for par and puts Philadelphia back into the lead 8-7. And again, as Rob Hellier gets one to cool it off, Philadelphia gets 3 more, finally capped off by Crowley's 4th, and Garrett Thule on the extra attacker, 11-8. Now, certainly coming into the second half, Bill, we've seen a lot of great offensive plays by Philadelphia. Their defense has been suspect at times. Moving to Toronto's side of the field, is this just a case of weathering the storm, or is there a bigger problem they need to focus on coming out for the second half?
I think for Toronto, it's more weathering the storm. This is a very experienced team. This core nucleus has played together for a while. They've seen this before. I think they know how to handle it, but anything's possible in the National Lacrosse League, which is even more reason to tune in to the second half.
Yeah, if you thought the first half was exciting, we've got the second half still to come. Shots on goal, we've had a ton of them in this game already. 36 for Philadelphia, 33 for the Toronto Rock. Your score at the half, 11-8 in favor of the Philadelphia Wings. We'll take a timeout and be back. This is the National Lacrosse League.
Welcome to NLL Halftime. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Walls of the Lacrosse Network. We'll get you back to your game in just a few minutes. But right now, let's take a quick look at the leaders and standings as we head into this week's action. Week 13 of the 2014 NLL season. Our featured game this week in Week 12 was the Toronto Rock heading to the Xcel Energy Center that faced the Minnesota Swarm in a crucial Eastern Division matchup. Toronto went on a 5-0 run in the first quarter. Toronto seemed to be in full control, leading 7-4 at the half. However, Minnesota would close out the game with a 4-0 run that got the Crazies going at the Xcel Energy Center as we were tied 8-8 going into overtime. It would prove to be too little too late, however, as Colin Doyle scores at a minute 34 into overtime, and the Rock hang on to defeat the feisty Swarm 9-8. Elsewhere in the NLL in Week 12, we had the Rochester Nighthawks defeating the Toronto Rock up at Air Canada Center by a score of 17-12. Toronto led at halftime, but Rochester's second half 12-3 run helped cap off the game for the K-Hawks. Also, Buffalo defeated the Colorado Mammoth on their home floor, keeping their lead in the Eastern Division by a final score of 12-9. The Edmonton Rush moved to 10-0, and they clinched the first playoff spot in the 2014 season as they win the Battle of Alberta against the Calgary Roughnecks 15-7. Finally, the Rochester Nighthawks completed their weekend sweep, defeating the Philadelphia Wings at the Wells Fargo Center 11-7. So what does this mean for the NLL standings heading into this week? Well, let's take a look. First in the NLL Eastern Division, the Buffalo Bandits find themselves in a tie for first place of Rochester. Buffalo sits at 8-2 with 2 games this weekend, Friday night against the undefeated Edmonton Rush and Sunday at the Minnesota Swarm. Rochester, however, takes the weekend off, settling for a tie right now in first place with a record of 9-3. Toronto has a record of 5-7, but sits comfortably in third place in that last playoff spot in the East with a crucial division matchup against the Wings on Saturday. Speaking of the Philadelphia Wings, they sit with a record of 3-9 and currently on the outside looking in, 6 games back of first, with only the Minnesota Swarm sitting behind them with a record of 2-9. As we move into the NLL Western Division, it's the aforementioned Edmonton Rush sitting alone on top of the NLL and the Western Division. With that perfect 10-0 record, they host the first place Buffalo Bandits in a division versus division matchup on Friday night out at the First Niagara Center. The Calgary Roughnecks sit in second place with a record of 6-5, 4.5 games back of the Rush, with a game against the Vancouver Stealth on Friday. Colorado sits in third place with the weekend off with a record of 5-8, and if the Vancouver Stealth don't win against Calgary on Friday night, their 3-8 record could turn into 3-9, and it could mean an early summertime for Vancouver lacrosse fans. That does it for NLL Halftime. Thanks for watching. Make sure to join the conversation on Twitter and let everyone know how your team is doing. We'll get you back to your game in just a moment. This is the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Underway, and there you go. Rochester Nighthawks. A piece of equipment falls off of his shoe. Jameson, English coach Jameson, there you go.
Top to Ward. Ward behind the back. Crowley moves in, shoots and scores! Kevin Crowley.
Short-handed. Here's Capito, scores!
And that's absolutely not what you really wanted to happen.
Dan Dawson goal. The slot behind the back pass to Point. Already with 2 goals on the day and make it the hat trick for the score. Bounce shot from outside. Greg Point.
They've got a great mix of, the Dan Dawsons and the Coach Jamesons and the Joe Walters.
Man, not known for
Kellen Crawford trying to drive to the front. Frees up some space, goes right to the goal and scores! Cork screws it in! By Dinsdale to win the faceoff against an always tough Thompson. Now a breakaway, a free score! Anderson the cutter right out front. They score. Toronto has won it in overtime, 9-8.
Whips over to Dane Smith. Smith right over to Preston Terrace. He scores.
Behind the back, it's Logan Schuss putting Minnesota on the board. Oh, a beauty from Schuss.
And welcome back. Second half getting ready to get underway here from the Wells Fargo Center. National Lacrosse League action with the Philadelphia Wings leading by 3 over the Toronto Rock, 11-8. Hi, everybody. Dave Walls here for the NLL. Glad you're watching wherever you are and enjoying this exciting game. And alongside me, Bill Chris, MarylandSportsInsider.com, and covering lacrosse all levels and all ages right up to the National Lacrosse League where the big boys play. And we've seen a big boy type of matchup here tonight, Bill, as Philadelphia is at 3-9 right now, really fighting for their playoff existence here in 2014. And these two teams have been throwing down as we go down to the turf right now. Philadelphia is wearing their home whites with the black and red trim. Toronto wearing their blue with the red maple leaf and white trim as well. So shots on goal, we've already seen, I think, more than we really see in a first half, 36-33 in favor of the Wings. They've got first possession here, moving left to right on your television screen. Check that, it's Toronto with the ball. My mistake, as Toronto shoots as Scott Johnson gets checked away by Sweeney, enabling Kirk to make the save. And now here comes a fast break the other way by C.J. Constable. We've seen, Bill, much more improved play by Constable. Year one, he was a fifth-round draft pick, I believe, coming out of Duke University, and really had a tough time adjusting to the indoor game as Crowley tries the one-handed shot, got checked away. Constable's really made a significant uptick in his presence here in year two.
And Constable's someone for this team to really get excited about, and also for the fans to get excited about as well, because you do want to see that progression in a player, and with him progressing how he is, he's going to be dangerous in years to come.
He is going to be dangerous for years to come, but already in year two doing good things for Philadelphia. Over a minute in already, no score as it's 11-8 Philadelphia. Koluski already with 1 goal in the day, flips it over far side to Jordan Hall. Ryan Ward up top. Ward, originally a Philadelphia wing back in the day, made his way around the league through the Edmonton Rush for a few years, and now back with Philadelphia. 3 on the shot clock. Crowley ran out of time, just rolls in the corner, so it's a shot clock violation. Sometimes Crowley does that, and it's not the greatest thing. In this case, with 3 seconds on the shot clock, by doing that, he gives the Philadelphia defense a chance to get out there early. So with a 3-goal lead, a safe play from Philadelphia there, and Toronto will get the possession. Kevin Ross, the former wing, seeing his first action as a Toronto Rock tonight, released by the Wings early in the year. It's a shame for Kevin. He loved it here in Philadelphia, but had been battling injuries and was just able to really make a consistent presence on this team over his year and a half with Philadelphia. 5 on the shot clock. Doyle trapped in the near side boards. Now he'll dump it in the corner with 1, and now here's a shot by Sanderson as he had actually picked up and throws it away. So Philadelphia and Toronto exchanging shot clock violations. Not an uncommon presence sometimes in the NLL for you first-time fans. We'll help you along here as Kyle Buchanan has the ball near side, rolls, thinks about the shot. Now again, tries to scoop it underhand, loses control of the ball. That'll be an unforced turnover that time as Buchanan got a little bit too fancy with the stick that time. And now the ball rolling near the Toronto bench. 8 seconds to get the ball up and across the timeline as now Jesse Gamble finds himself trapped up against the boards. Michael Manley out there putting a check on along others. And now we're going to get whistle from the back official looking for some help, and it's going to be Philadelphia ball coming out of that.
That was a little bit of a delayed whistle there. It's kind of referee's trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, the back official that time in Roger Nurse, I think he was just kind of saying, boys, fight it out of there eventually. He just had to blow the whistle. Now Crowley with a nice move inside. Face dodge. Can't get the stick away, though. Ball loose on the turf. Crowley out there fighting for it. And now, no, whistle stoppage of play. Crowley going to get called for the loose ball. Push. Can't push a carrier away from the ball if he doesn't have the ball, and that time Crowley did so in the fight, so you get a stoppage of play and change of possession. Brett Manny laying someone out in the midfield for Philadelphia. Brett Manny is someone, Bill, who is out in the community a lot, really the face of the franchise to a large degree. You see him all the way around town from event to event, promoting lacrosse in all forms around the community and doing a lot of great things. Here's Sweeney moving inside. He shoots. Good save. He runs in onto Rose. Whistle stops play. Now, Sweeney gotten checked from behind into Rose, so I don't think we're going to get a goaltender interference call as now Sweeney and another player for Toronto, they didn't like the fact that Sweeney ran in as it's Bill Hostrauser. He's known to sometimes have a bit of a short fuse, but that time Sweeney was checked into Nick Rose. That's why you don't get a goaltender call, but still they're letting Sweeney know you don't touch our goaltender, and that's certainly something Philadelphia would do as well.
And I think if it was something more egregious that we would see Rose jumping up and down as well.
I completely agree, but that time I think everybody kind of recognized that Sweeney didn't intend to do it, but at the same time they still gave him a little shot saying don't let that happen again. Yeah. 38-35 shots a goal. Toronto gets their own rebound and a fresh 30. Holding it far side. Billings has it, working one-on-one with Belton. Belton able to force a turnover. It's an over and back violation. So neither team able to get a real good shot on goal so far here early in the third quarter. So Philadelphia will take possession in the near side corner. Ward brings it back into play. Ward and Buchanan on the near side. Crowley up in the slot right now with Jordan Hall, and I believe that's Pat Saunders out there. It is for Philadelphia. Tight pressure being put on by Toronto. Give and go play, and Ward will keep it himself. Shot 6 save made by Nick Rose. Loose rebound, however, picked up by Buchanan and a fresh 30. Buchanan holding it, now throws it over far side. A little bit of room for Saunders to run. He pulls it back just shy of the crease. Now rolling around, tries a behind-the-back pass for Kyle Buchanan. It's amazing the stick work that these players in the NLL have, Bill. Certainly have them in the outdoor game, but in the inside, you see, stick plays are not just meant for showing off. They're meant to throw the defenses off and create additional scoring attempts.
And especially in the indoor game where it's predominantly more one-handed than, say, the outdoor game, throwing those extra fakes and the additional training on stick handling pays dividends for the offensive players.
Doyle shoots from the outside, gets his own rebound now, and a fresh 30-second shot clock for Toronto. Far side, nice face dodge put on. Costabille's able to catch up, and now wide open to the slot and a score! And just like that, Toronto gets back into this game, now down by 2, 11-9. Taking a look at the replay here, they just throw it up top, and it's Garrett Billings with the sidearm shot from outside.
And it was the Wings doubling the ball, and Billings taking the assist and burying it past Kirk.
As the initial play actually happened on the far side, Toronto had set that up by faking a dive inside. They pull it back out, but the Wings defense had already been pulled out of position. So Philadelphia will win the faceoff, now only up by 2. Stephen Hoare wins that one. He's been doing good things since coming over from Toronto as a free agent. He had some struggles this year. His faceoff numbers were way down, but he seems to have gotten his groove back. As Kevin Crowley moves into the slot, shoots, save made by Rose, can't find it in the padding. Back official blows the whistle, stoppage of play, and now Jesse Gamble has it. And with 9:30 left to go, the Rock bring it back upfield.
And Crowley with a good shot, but right in Rose's breadbasket, didn't make him move. The name of the game in the indoor, get the goalie off his base, get him moving.
Yeah, and that's anytime you see the goalie get the shot right in his chest, you know something went wrong with the shot or with the offensive formation. Shot hit the crossbar, bounces right into the stick of Michael Manley. NLL goals can be pushed off the crease line by as long as it doesn't, happen intentionally in order to break up a shot. And that time, Kirk knocked it as he was moving side to side, pulls it back into play. It does not affect anything. So Philadelphia comes back the other way. Ward has it over to Hall, far side, beats his man, throws it over for Saunders. A little bit of a short pass, however, and Saunders has to play a little catch-up. 9 on the shot clock. Now rolling inside, down to the crease. He hits the crossbar. Well, I tell you what, they're going to have to get an extra couple buckets of red paint out here after this game is done, as both teams has found the iron unkind so far. But the fresh 30 for Philadelphia, 8.5 to go. Buchanan thinks about moving inside, finds the one-timer. Oh, what a sliding save. Nick Rose, I tell you what.
That was a fantastic save.
He learned that one going to the Michael Jackson school, just diving on the knees and sliding across the floor. But a good attack play by Jordan Hall, forcing the turnover, and Philadelphia is going to get another opportunity here. And the crowd at the Wells Fargo Center responding as Jordan Hall doing dirty work down low.
And Hall really hasn't been a big factor in this game, but it's doing the little things like that that keeps the Wings in this ball game and helps them keep the lead.
Wings with 10 on the shot clock, under 8 to go here in the third quarter, up by 2. Thule rolls inside, shoots high and wide. A loose rebound picked up in the near side corner. And LeBlanc picks it back up. Not a lot of momentum offensively, although Toronto's had the only goal here in the third. I feel like Philadelphia's had the better possession so far, but Toronto has made the most of what they've had so far here in the third, making it a 2-goal game. Far side, looking for Sanderson breaking, instead kicks it back out top to Hellier. Hellier to Doyle, now far side again, 10 on the shot clock, 7.5 to go. Working one-on-one, looking for a screen with 5, 4. Doyle, no room to go. He'll have to put it in on that himself. 2-1. He won't get the shot off. Shot clock violation. As he drops the ball, we get a whistle stopping play. It's a media timeout. 7:21 to go in the third. 11-9 Philadelphia. This is the National Lacrosse League. 7:21 left to go in the third. Philadelphia Wings 11, Toronto Rock 9. Fans, this copyright telecast is the property of the National Lacrosse League Incorporated and it cannot be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the National Lacrosse League. Shots on goal, 42-38 in favor of the Philadelphia Wings. Has not been much offensive momentum for either team, with only Toronto getting the lone tally so far here. Shots on goal even in this quarter, 6-6. Garrett Billings now has the hat trick. He has 8 points on the night, 3 goals and 5 assists. Leading scorer for the Philadelphia Wings is Kevin Crowley, 4 goals, 2 assists, 13 shots on the night for Mr. Crowley. Unofficially right now, we see Evan Kirk with 26 saves. You'll remember Kevin Croswell came in for a short period as well and did well with 3 saves on 4 shots. For Toronto, Nick Rose has kind of said, calm down, boys. I'm in the net. It's okay. 31 saves in there for Nick, but he's still down by 2 as we return to live action. Philadelphia with the ball. The Wings trying to fly high and keep their playoff hopes alive. Kevin Crowley rolling. Shot blocked away. Loose rebound into the corner, finally picked up. Now some hard checking going on between Jordan Hall and Sandy Chapman, but it's O'Connor, and he's got a break on net. Ethan O'Connor dekes inside shot. Good save made by Evan Kirk. I tell you what, O'Connor had about a wide open a run as you want to get. All he had to do was deke one defender at the end, but Kirk was able to stay with him and keep it a 2-goal game.
And that's a problem with one of the defenders. You get up that momentum. Oh, my goodness.
As Evan Kirk, he comes out of the crease, and I tell you what, when you got those kind of pads on, why not throw a shot in there? The Philadelphia fans loving it, giving Kirky a round of applause.
Shades of Dallas Elliott out there nailing someone from behind the crease.
The legendary Hall of Fame goaltender from Philadelphia. He used to make a living at running out of the creases. You take a look at this replay. Here comes Johnson around, and boom! Tell you what, you might want to think about getting Evan Kirk into some Philadelphia Eagles green right there. You got a good linebacker right there coming in back of the net. He saw the ball carrier coming, laid the shoulder out, and that's a clean hit. Now, a goaltender actually can't come running out of the crease straight out to someone who doesn't have the ball. That's a rule that they actually changed thanks to plays like the former wing goaltender Dallas Elliott. Elliott used to actually run out close to midfield. There's some great video out there of him leveling people like the legendary John Tavares of Buffalo and other people. So we have a whistle stoppage of play due to an equipment problem for Evan Kirk. So we'll keep the action right here with 6:33 left to go here in the third quarter. Dave Walls along with Bill Chris here at the Wells Fargo Center. Hoping you're enjoying this one. I tell you what, it's the small things that can get a team's momentum going, and it's too early to say since it just happened, but certainly fans love the physical action, and it raises the atmosphere of the arena, and a big hit like the one Evan Kirk just laid out could do a lot of things for Philadelphia.
It does, and there's nothing better than a huge hit. Not only to get the team going, the crowd going, home field advantage.
So with the home field advantage right now, here's a shot that goes wide. Actually, no, it was saved. Ball is going to roll across the crease line. That would be an over and back violation. Philly picks it up 2-on-1 if they hurry. Merrill unable to control, now flips it over to Sweeney. Sweeney moves in. Shot saved made by Rose. Philadelphia had problems the whole way controlling the ball there, but they are able to pick up the rebound. I tell you what, we mentioned it earlier, Joel White doing the dirty work down by the boards, bouncing like a pinball. Didn't tilt over on the near side, and Philadelphia's going to get a second possession now, under 6 to go here in the third. Tracy Koleski now out there with Buchanan, far side. We also see Saunders out there along with Ryan Ward. Ward shoots from the outside. That one got a piece of Rose's stick, but again, another shot and another second, third chance opportunity for Philadelphia. This is an area they've sometimes had trouble with, and now they're getting these opportunities. That one goes high off the glass and outside, and Toronto finally picks it back up. Here comes Gamble pushing it 2-on-1 the other way with Greer coming the other way. Good style. Wow, it's Garrett Thule with the stick check from behind, stopping the breakaway. Toronto's able to get it back, Bill, but that kills a lot of momentum.
It does, and it eats up shot clock.
And here's a shot and a score. Kevin Ross saw the breaking man coming in, and I believe it's Josh Sanderson. It is. With 5:16 to go in the third, it's a 1-goal game, 11-10.
And great feed, even better shot. Ball gets past Kirk. It's going to be up to the Wings now to try to weather this counterpunch by the Rock to see if they can, get back their momentum that they had in that second quarter.
As Ross had the great vision to throw it downfield, Sanderson was streaking like a bullet right down Broad Street. And Sanderson, he's been doing it for a long time. He's seen his way to a couple championships with Albany and also with Toronto, and now he's doing it still in 2014. Ball goes out of bounds. Philadelphia's possession with 5:09 left to go in the third. So Philadelphia has gotten this crowd energized. They've gotten them hopeful, but certainly there's a lot of lacrosse left to be played here at the Wells Fargo Center. Buchanan and Crowley out there now. Crowley has it. 4 already on the day. Give and go to Buchanan. Rolls, now throws it far side. Shot. Oh, just goes wide. Jordan Hall had his man beat. Throws it wide. Philly gets the rebound. 12 on the shot clock. Face dodge. Shoots and scores! Number 5 for Kevin Crowley. And the Wells Fargo Center comes alive as the Wings strike right back and take the lead again, up by 2, 12-10.
Crowley has put this Wings team on his shoulders and said, boys, follow me. I'm going to lead you to the promised land.
We haven't seen a performance like this from Kevin Crowley since his rookie season, where he put 5, including the overtime winner, up against the Stealth. And this is a guy who, with the number 1 draft pick, this is what they wanted out of Kevin Crowley, and he is showing tonight. I don't know what flipped from last week to this week, but I love it. Kevin Crowley is showing all the maturity you'd want out of a player who has all the gifts, the size. He's got the best hands stick-wise, and he has just had problems stringing it all together, but having a career game right now. 5 goals for Kevin Crowley, making it a 12-10 game. Ball loose on the turf. Jordan Hall picks it back up, and it's a turnover the other way.
And I'm even more impressed with the Wings' stick-to-itiveness on the when they're, we'll say, riding at this point, because they've created a lot of turnovers in transition to their benefits. So good job for them. Again, this is a Wings team. There's no quit in them. Maybe some unfortunate breaks, but there's never any quit.
Yeah, certainly Philadelphia has had their ups and downs, but they're certainly fighting their way this one. Up by 2 under 4 to go. Toronto with the ball. Garrett Billings has the ball near field. And this Philadelphia defense, if they can hold Toronto down going into the 4th, at least down, hold that 2-goal lead. And here's a shot from the outside by a little block save made by Kirk. Unofficially 43rd shot of the game by Toronto, but a fresh 30, however. Shot, actually a pass off the boards, far side, picked up by Doyle. 20 on the shot clock, 3.5 to go. Doyle rolling. Now looking, but we're going to get an illegal screen call. This again, that moving screen. The back official's been calling it all game, and Toronto's had trouble adjusting to it. So the Wings get the ball when we come back from this media timeout. 3:28 to go in the 3rd. Philadelphia 12, Toronto 10. This is the National Lacrosse League. .328 left to go here in the 3rd. The Wings clinging to a 2-goal lead over the Rock, 12-10. Shots on goal pretty close, but there's been a ton of them. Even for a National Lacrosse League game where, Bill, we actually usually see total shots for each team sometimes hovering in the 40 to 50 range. We've still got 3.5 to go here in the 3rd, and already these teams are exceeding the normal amount you would see. What does that tell you about the style of play of this game?
It's just pure aggression out there for both teams. Aggressive offense, aggressive defense, aggressive transition. Aggressive is the word of the day here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, we've seen both teams with multiple shot opportunities on offense where they're able to scoop a rebound and get that 2nd or 3rd chance opportunities, and that's what we see here with the shots already. Again, a combined 88 shots on goal if you combine both teams here, but it's the Wings with a 12-10 lead. Certainly, Toronto going to be keeping an eye on the scoreboard throughout the weekend as Buffalo has another game coming up on Sunday against the Minnesota Swarm, so we'll take a look at the scoreboard here in Week 13 of the NLL season. You always have to love the way the schedule is structured. It kind of gives you that feel as the Wings are going to actually go for an extra attacker situation. 6-on-5. Kirk is on the bench at the moment. Pass intended for Crowley goes awry, but Ward's able to pick up the loose rebound, caught down low. Chapman gives pressure with 10 on the clock. Kirk actually runs back out. There's a shot, never gets in. Jordan Hall got stick checked away. Ball loose on the turf, 3-2. Crowley's just going to tie it up and force a loose ball violation, and that shot clock violation, that is. And that's a good idea as Kirk had gotten back out on a net. A little bit of confusion here in the midfield. Chapman will pick it up for Toronto as both teams try to regroup as we go under 3 to go here in the 3rd. For Toronto, they got Kevin Ross and Josh Sanderson near side. Briefly had 6 on the field. I'm very fortunate they didn't get called for that. One-on-one shot and a score. Oh, I tell you what, Toronto caught Philadelphia napping a little bit as Hellier throws it in far side, beats Belton, and then rolls it somehow past Kirk, and it's a 1-goal game, 12-11. Take a look at this. As you see, Hellier just hold it, and he just turns and fires. And again, I don't think anybody's expecting him to take that shot.
It was like just a little hitch in his step, just enough to get the space, and then just wrap the shot right around.
Yeah, and as we've seen multiple times in the National Lacrosse League, you cannot be caught napping even for a minute. And certainly I don't think Belton was napping, but that's the type of speed, that's how quickly the game can change here in the National Lacrosse League. So a 1-goal game, 12-11, 2:20 to go here in the third. Toronto with possession. Doyle has the ball, running in, has room to run. Here's a shot save made by Kirk as the ball goes up into the netting. It'll be a fresh 30-second shot clock for the Rock. So Toronto with the ball now as we approach 2 to go. Holding through some traffic as Hellier now tries to hit a breaking. Doyle can't connect, but LeBlanc picks it back up. Still 20 on the shot clock. Again, can't hit Hellier on the far side. He was wide open. The ball loose on the turf. Stephen Hoare fighting for it. Michael Manley with the presence to go pick it back up and throws in a couple nice spin moves in there. So Philadelphia able to escape unscathed out of that possession, and they bring the ball up, clicking to a 1-goal lead.
And the Wings defense needs to regroup a little bit because they're leaving off-ball guys open, especially on that last play. Didn't come back to bite them, but you got to be careful of that, especially when things get furious here in the fourth.
Buchanan with a sidearm shot save made. Thule can't pick up the loose rebound. He's right there, but it just kind of took a Philadelphia hop off the AstroTurf and right into the stick of Toronto. They come breaking the other way, 4-on-2. Ross on the break. Good save made by Kirk. The rebound, scores! Bill Greer's on the backside, scoops up the garbage and tosses it in. We got a tie game, 12-12. I'd love to see a replay on this, and we will, because Greer is awfully close to that crease line. Take a look. No, he did a nice drag of the foot right before he took the step, and that's a good goal for Toronto. They tie it up.
Toronto goal scored by number 21, Bill Greer. And unassisted goals.
Yeah, Dave, you hit the nail right on the head. That was more so just kind of a garbage goal, just right place, right time, and Kirk unable to get reset.
Tough break for Philadelphia there, but Toronto, good right position, right time. I tell you what, good work by Greer. Again, the stick work was easy. To me, it was keeping the foot out of the creases. His momentum was clearly carrying him forward. That's why I wanted another look at that replay, and our good crew here at the Wells Fargo Center giving that to us. So, under a minute to go, we got a different ball game now, tied up 12-12 up top to Ward. He gets checked away. 7 on the shot clock. Going to have to hurry. Finds Buchanan in the slot. Pressure put in. Ball checked away. And now into the corner. And Toronto's defense stands tall. 45 to go now in the third quarter. Looking at Toronto's net. Nick Rose will stay out there. 15-second differential between game clock and shot clock. They're going to drag this one out a little bit as Doyle calling the shots up top. El Capitan out there getting it done for the Rock again in 2014. Good swim move by LeBlanc. Now kicks it back up top with 8 on the shot clock. 7, 6. Sanderson going to have to make something happen with 3. Tried to find LeBlanc breaking. 2, 1. And now with 15.9 to go, now Kirk will run to the bench. Empty net for Philadelphia. 6 on 5 as this will be the last possession of the third quarter. Philadelphia trying to take the lead. They got a last-second goal right before the half. They're going to try and do it again at the third. Ward cocks up the fire, but now with an illegal screen. Philadelphia has to drop the ball. Empty net. They throw it in, and the ball goes in. Back official waves no goal. The back official waves no goal. Oh, that is a close play. But for now, as we end the third quarter, it's a tie ball game, 12-12. This is the National Lacrosse League. Welcome back. Fourth quarter getting underway, and we've got a tie ball game, 12-12. This is the National Lacrosse League. Hi, everybody. Dave Walls along with Bill Chris from MarylandSportsInsider.com. And tell you what, Bill, we had some excitement right before the third, but as Philadelphia had an empty net, but they got called for an illegal screen. Now, when that happens, any kind of loose ball violation, you've got to turn the ball over immediately. Drop the ball right out of your stick and run. Philadelphia had an empty net. Toronto throws it down, but as it goes down to the net, the clock just runs out before it goes into the net. Very close play. Could have been reviewed, but however, Toronto didn't have a challenge.
Yeah, Bullet definitely dodged on the wings end there. I mean, it was very, very close. So.
Yeah, we reviewed it several times during the break, and for the most part, we believe that the ball did not cross. We've seen 2 or 3 replays now that have led us to believe that the ball was maybe about yay short before it crosses the goal line, but certainly a close play. Toronto was arguing about it during the break time as I got dance moves like that sometime, but I don't like to brag. Yeah, see, he's got nothing on me. Absolutely nothing. But, again, this isn't about me. This is about the game we got going on the field. Fourth quarter, tie game. Where else would you rather be than here watching the National Lacrosse League? We thank you for watching this game wherever you are watching from.
And I think what was more impressive was the guy was dancing with the water ice and did not spill any.
That is a skill that can only be learned in Philadelphia. That is for sure. Hellier has the ball for Toronto near side. He cocks and fires. And beat Kirk, but it bounces off the post at a strange angle. Goes up in the netting. Philadelphia catches a break early, but it's a fresh 30 for the Toronto Rock. Now a shot fired, and that one scooped away as Kirk shuts down the 5-hole. So Philadelphia, hearts a fluttering early in the fourth, but they are able to hold on and keep it a tie game at 12. Philadelphia now getting their line out there. Brody Merrill stays out there for this offensive set along with Hall, Saunders, Buchanan. I believe Crowley has it. He throws it over. One-timer attempt by Saunders. Didn't have the timing down 100% as Saunders couldn't get it all down, but good attempt that time by Philadelphia. Sandy Chapman brings it back up for the Toronto Rock.
And kudos to Rose for getting down the line and closing the wickets, so to speak, on that one.
Bearns rolls inside, and now Toronto trying to move inside as well as Doyle got shut down and ends up throwing it up and hard into the glass. 10 seconds on the shot clock, and Doyle had a little more time. I think he thought the shot clock was down lower, 7-6, and yeah, Toronto just concedes possession that time as Philadelphia's defense put a good hit on them, and the Wings will come out for their second offensive possession.
And it's going to be very important for the Wings to come out firing here because they need to set the tone, saying this fourth quarter is going to be theirs.
Ward has the ball, throws it over to Thule near side. Crowley moving left to right and back of that. Thule backing down his man, does a nice turn shot up into the shoulders of Rose. He makes the save. Thule had a little bit more time on the clock. Maybe thought he would have given an extra stutter step or two and tried to force something inside. But when you got the frame of the Garrett Thule, sometimes you think you can just bully your way into anywhere. And certainly he tried to do so there. Billings has the ball, just holding right now. Toronto gets their offense on the field, but they've only got 10 on the shot clock. 2 minutes gone in the fourth, tie game. Here's a shot, save made by Kirk. Gets the shoulder on it, throws it out to Merrill. Merrill looking ahead to the bench as Philadelphia gets their offensive set out now. Down low. Checked away, and man, knocked into the boards. Whistle stops play as it was a check from behind, I believe. Player knocked down on a hard hit from behind it. As of right now, I haven't seen an official put his hand in the air as the whistle has stopped play. Put the camera away for the moment as the official, yes, we are going to get a penalty now. And now let's see what kind of penalty is called as Sandy Chapman's going to run off to the bench here. Pat Saunders got bulldozed into the boards. I'm going to be interested to see if it's a 2, 4, or 5. I think we're going to see a little bit more than a 2, although I don't think the intent was necessarily there to drill him into the boards. If I'm an official, based on the severity, I'd probably give a 4, but let's wait and see. The crowd obviously voicing their displeasure here at the Wells Fargo Center. Saunders is fortunately able to shake it off, and it is only going to be a 2-minute variety. The official had that leeway as, again, Bill, I don't think the intent was there to throw him into the boards. I thought maybe based on the veracity of the hit, they might have gone up for a 4, but regardless, Philadelphia is going to get a power play.
Yeah, it was just more so, I think, aggressive play on Chapman's end, but I tell you, Brody Merrill did not like that and let him hear about it on his way off the turf.
Yeah, Brody Merrill only throws down when he has to, but he's the first one to throw a stick or throw a little shoulder at you, let you know that's not the right idea. Here's the power play for Philadelphia. Ball loose on the turf, 15 on the shot clock, picked up down into the corner, and Toronto escapes very quickly there. So Sandy Chapman off for a 2-minute penalty, but now Toronto turns the ball right back over as Costabile picks it back up for Philadelphia. So already 30 seconds gone in this power play. Tying game, 12-12. Shots on goal now favoring the Toronto Rock, 50-48. Ward out there with Hall. Saunders also out on the power play. Up top, Crowley thought about the shot. Now throws it to Kelusky. Back to Crowley. To Hall. Inside to Kelusky. He scores! Tracy Kelusky, the power play goal, gives the Wings the lead back 13-12.
And I tell you, the Wings seized the opportunity. They needed to get a goal there in order to, A, regain the lead, but also regain the momentum. And hopefully we see them open up a run here to pull away from the Rock, because this is the fourth quarter. Time's running out. The Rock won't have that time to catch up. So let's see if the Wings can capitalize here on the momentum.
Bill, early in the season, the Wings had the #1 power play in the league, and they had kind of crawled to a halt here in recent weeks. But so far, getting the job done tonight on the advantage as Kelusky gets his second here, ripping the twine from the backside. And it's 13-12 Philadelphia. Ball loose on the turf as we return to live action. Fought for by Jordan Hall. Chapman laying on top of him. Need a cleanup on aisle 3. They get it. Buchanan picks it up. Attempts to hit Kelusky on the far side. He does pick it back up. 5 on the shot clock, though. Over to Saunders, into the slot behind the back shot. Creative play. Saunders didn't have enough room to get the stick around his front. Decides to go around the back that time. Didn't get maybe the velocity he was looking for, but certainly got it on net. And Rose had to adjust quickly to make that save. We've officially had 100 shots in this game. Both teams at 50 so far, and we've still got 11 minutes left to play here in the fourth. Rannigan running it up for the advantage for the Wings. Now Merrill holds it, and now Costabile and another player were getting jostled behind the play. Illegal screen's going to be called, and now here comes Damon Edwards on the fast break for Toronto the other way.
And again, the Wings doing a good job picking up the players from the bench from Toronto.
Ross
getting 2 sticks on them.
Ross loses control for Toronto. Now Philadelphia picks it up as Joel White has it. He's double teamed, loses the ball. Philadelphia picks it up. They're going to have to hurry to get the ball across the timeline. They're able to do so. Good. That's the play of a veteran right there. Brody Merrill picking it up and knowing he's low on the shot clock again in the NLL. 8 seconds to get the ball across the timeline. That's all you get, and they had to hurry to do so as Crowley throws it high off the glass. That's actually usually a pass play. Now here's a break for Toronto the other way. Sandy Chapman, 1-on-1 if he wants it, but he'll pull back and wait for Toronto's offense to come out onto the field. Lots of time still to go. 10-15 in regulation, 13-12. If needed, we play sudden death overtime in the NLL, where 1 goal wins it all. Toronto won their game last week against Minnesota in that fashion. Exciting one, 9-8. Philadelphia hoping to avoid that fate tonight as Brett Manny, the defensive captain for the Wings, brings it up and across the timeline. 9:55 to go here in the fourth. Near side, it's Thule and Hall. Far side, Ryan Ward has it. Over to Hall. Now to Thule. 10 on the shot clock. Thule 1-on-1. He's got room. Moving inside. Shot saved made by Rose. Thule's helmet gets knocked off. And in that, we've got a media timeout. 9:39 to go in the fourth. The Wings 13, the Rock 12. This is the National Lacrosse League. .39 left to go here in the fourth. The Philadelphia Wings clinging to a 1-goal lead over the Toronto Rock, 13-12. Dave Walls and Bill Chris here with you as the famous Wings chant going on here as longtime fans Hollywood and Chopper out there getting it done, leading it on both sides of the field. The Philadelphia Wings, the oldest franchise in the NLL with 6 world championships. Toronto has won their fair share as well, having more success in recent years. And right now, both these teams fighting for that number 3 slot in the Eastern Division. Only 3 teams from Eastern Division getting a playoff slot this year. Currently, the Rock have that with a record of 5-7. Philadelphia could make the conversation a little bit more interesting with the win here today. 51 shots on goal so far. It's been a very tight fourth quarter of action. So Toronto's going to have the ball coming off of this media timeout. Ball being held by the head official right now. And Bill, as we look at this game, I mean, this is certainly, I think we can both agree, this is going to be one of those games that either one team's going to go on a huge run, or I think it's going to go this way. It's going to be a next goal type. Whoever has the ball last could win the whole game.
Yeah, I agree. Just the way this thing's going, it's been tight all game, neck and neck, back and forth. This is definitely not going to be a runaway. We may see another last second decision here in Philadelphia.
Billings has the ball, now throws it over far side. LeBlanc was looking for the sidearm shot, tried to hit a breaking Doyle with 5 on the shot clock. Can't connect, and the wings come running back upfield. Man coming off the bench, long play, here's a shot, and a score! Check coming after the play as Kevin Crowley gets number 6. Toronto checks him in the board. Sticks get up, gloves get up, but with 9:07 left to go in the fourth, the Wings back to a 2-goal lead, 14-12, and Kevin Crowley, Bill, like you said, he said, boys, just keep feeding me, I'm hungry, and he gets one for the other hand as well, number 6.
The man is hot tonight.
And with the 6th goal on the night, that is the most goals he has ever scored in an NLL game, getting the job done here. And the strains of Mr. Crowley will come flowing into the Wells Fargo Center. And now Toronto, they've got to somehow corral this energy. We've seen that they've got the veteran presence to do so, but breakaways like that, Philadelphia runs that play with the man coming off the bench. They're able to hit him, I think, more than I've seen any other team do in the NLL with consistency. And now, as we return to action, here's a turnover, and Rannigan, with good stick work, was able to break up a pass and get the turnover for Philadelphia.
And I tell you, this is just an exciting game, especially if you're new to the NLL. This is the game that you want to see because of the hard hitting and the tenacity of both these teams going at it out there on the turf.
Yeah, there's nothing like an NLL game live, and the energy is electric here in the Wells Fargo Center. A lot of time left to go. A 2-goal differential, frankly, doesn't mean anything in the NLL. We've seen runs happen. Philadelphia gave up a 9-goal run to Rochester earlier in the season, went on an 8-goal run on their own, and they made things happen. So, I mean, just because a game gets a little out of control here and there, you got to hang with it for all 60 minutes here at the National Lacrosse League. Approaching 8 minutes to go here in regulation. The Wings up by 2, 14-12, 53-51 shots on goal, 9 on the shot clock, now under 8. Holding, far side. Koleski rolling in with 3, 2, 1. Shot went in on Rose, and now the dunk play, and now Rose moved the net. The back official says, play on, boys. I tell you what, Rose, I think, was trying to come up and actually move the net back into place, which a goaltender is supposed to do, but the net actually went too far, and Saunders' dunk attempt missed. Very questionable play. Now Hellier with room to run, shoots, block save made by Kirk. Oh, I tell you what, the eyes got this big for Toronto, like big saucers in their eyes, as there was a 1-0 play, and Kirk stood strong.
That was a great high pick by Toronto. Again, just unable to execute on the shot.
So Jordan Hall, he's one of the leading goal scorers for Philadelphia, and has just knocked in about 4 or 5 assists today. His teammates have had the hot hand here today, taking some of the pressure off. Attempted give and go for Saunders doesn't work. Rose comes out to play it for Toronto, and now approaching 7 minutes to go in regulation. Toronto running it upfield. Sandy Chapman holds it in transition for the Rock. The Rock have had an up and down season, to say the least. They've had their problems, but they dominated Philadelphia back on February 7th, 20-10 at the Air Canada Center in a game that, Bill, quite frankly, wasn't even close, as Behrens hits the post, but LeBlanc right there to pick up the rebound with 6.5 to go. Now Behrens again put inside. Manley works tight one-on-one defense here and forces the turnover, and Philadelphia will break the other way. Sweeney running up ahead, looking for some help. Now he'll just hold the ball as Philadelphia's offensive 5 comes out on the field. And Bill, as we were mentioning, Toronto last time doubled up Philly 20-10. Are you surprised that maybe not necessarily that Toronto's not blowing them out, but that Philadelphia is able to do so much better? There's been a lot of time between game 1 and game 2, but certainly I think we've seen 2 different teams here than we saw just a little more than a month and a half ago.
I think it's a testament to the Wings coaching staff and the good job that they've did game planning for this game, learning from mistakes, and the players even more so executing that game plan out there on the field.
As we are now under 6 minutes to go here in regulation. Behind the back pass and score, Josh Sanderson. Oh, baby, there's your top 10 highlight reel goal right there. Sanderson throws it in. It's a 1-goal game again, 14-13. Take a look as Sanderson, the beneficiary of a tremendous pass that time on the near side, as Billings backs his man down and whoop, right there, throws it behind the back. Sanderson had the easy job of dunking it in.
And it's going to be up to the Wings here to maintain their composure and to settle down, tighten up on defense, watch off ball, and try to keep it the pace up on offense.
54-54 shots on goal as we're at 5:45 left to go in regulation. 1-goal lead for Philadelphia, 14-13. Saunders and Thule near side. Far side now to Crowley. He has 6 already. Thule into the slot. Shot save made. Loose rebound. Saunders unable to convert, but however, Crowley's there to pick up the loose ball and a fresh 30 for Philadelphia. And when you got a 1-goal lead, sometimes just getting that extra rebound can keep the momentum going your way. Thule holds the ball. Go ahead.
I was going to say, anything you can do to keep the ball out of your defensive area is helpful.
Shot goes high and wide off the glass, picked up by Thule. 12 on the shot clock. Philadelphia does a change on the fly. They're all out there with 8, 7, 6. Shot clock winding down. Rolling is Crowley. He gets the bounce shot. It goes off the stick of Rose, but as it goes up into the netting, that's a fresh 30-second shot clock for Philadelphia. Crowley will take that one as they burn a little bit more time off the clock, approaching 5 minutes to go in regulation. 1-goal lead for Philadelphia, 14-13. Hall moving inside, draws the double team, now pulls it back. Now one-on-one. Backing in, takes a check from behind. Now he got a man directly on top of him as Merrill. Philadelphia desperately wanted that call. They don't get it. It goes one-timer to the far side to Buchanan. Save made by Rose. And with that, our final media timeout. 4:45 to go. Do not go anywhere. 1-goal game. We'll be right back after this. This is the National Lacrosse League. .445 left to go in regulation. The Philadelphia Wings clinging to a 1-goal lead over the Toronto Rock, 14-13. Dave Walls, along with Bill Chris of MarylandSportsInsider.com. Bill, can't ask for much more action than this. 57-54, the shots on goal. And I tell you what, Toronto's knocking on the doorstep. And so far, Philadelphia is doing enough to hang on.
They are, and kudos to them. They have not quit this whole game. It will be a shame if they actually don't prevail here because they've done everything right up to this point.
But Toronto has certainly done a lot right here in the second half as well. They've been able to get some momentum. Josh Sanderson with a beautiful goal to make it a 1-goal game off the behind-the-back feed from Garrett Billings. Billings already on the day now, 10 points, 3 goals, 7 assists for the Philadelphia Wings. It's been the Kevin Crowley show. He's taken 17 shots, but if he puts up 6 goals and 3 assists every game, I'll take it every time.
Good to see him back in form.
It is good to see him back in form. So as the goaltending battle as well has been very tight. Nick Rose, 43 saves for Toronto. That's on 57 shots. Evan Kirk with 38 of those saves for Philadelphia. So Toronto has possession with 4.5 to go here in the fourth. We'll keep our eye on the benches as Doyle shoots from the outside, goes wide. Still 10 on the shot clock. Picked up by Billings, rolls inside, looks for help inside, can't find any. Now rolls again with 5, 4, clock winding down. Goes to the slot, shoots, hits the post. Oh, Kirk got a little bit of it at the shoulder, and then the rest of it was rubbed out on the post. Lucky break for Philadelphia, but a third chance opportunity for Toronto as we approach 4 minutes to go in regulation. LeBlanc up top, throws it high and wide off the glass. Loose ball, cannot be handled by White. Hellier picks it up, 15 on the clock. One-timer to the far side. LeBlanc shoots and a save made by Kirk.
Good save by Kirk, but you got to watch those rebounds because that's what can get you in trouble.
Those rebounds and those second and third chance opportunities. Every loose ball so crucial here in the NLL. The loose ball, the equivalent of a rebound you'd see in the NBA. The more of those rebounds you give up, the worse your team is doing. In Philadelphia, doing what they can to keep this game in their favor. Now we have a loose ball push, and it's going to go against Toronto, so Philadelphia will get a fresh 30-second shot clock, 3.5 to go here in regulation. 57, 56 shots on goal. It's the Wings clinging to a 1-goal lead. Do not go anywhere, fans. We got a little bit more lacrosse, and we'll do sudden death overtime if we have to. Hall was not expecting the pass. Buchanan able to pick it back up. Still 13 on the shot clock. Buchanan out of position. He'll bounce it over far side to Ward with 10 on the shot clock. Looks for some help. Can't find it. One-timer attempt to Hall. Unable to connect with 3-2. Now Hall will just tie it up and make sure it's a shot clock violation, and it is.
Shot clock violation called on the Wings. Toronto business.
So Toronto takes possession now, under 3 to go, and we keep our eye on the goaltending situation of Toronto. They could pull the goaltender at any time and try for an extra attacker. Toronto, 15 seconds on the clock with Billings. One-timer attempt. Nice save made by Kirk. And a loose rebound picked up by Rannigan. Numbers the other way for Philadelphia. 3-0 if they hurry. Rannigan down Broad Street. He shoots, and a save made by Nick Rose. A game-saving save by the Toronto goaltender.
Right idea by Rannigan. Definitely
now back
right
the
idea.
other way. 2-on-1. Merrill running in. Here's a shot. Never gets through. And Kyle Belton breaks it up. The former Rock player, making an immediate contribution for the Wings. As I tell you what, Bill, they had a 2-on-1. Belton saw it like a safety in football. Cuts right up the middle for the interception.
Yeah, great job by Belton. Maybe his time with Toronto is helping us now.
Maybe so. Belton gets some high fives on the bench as we're now down to 2 minutes in regulation. Toronto gains possession. They got to break the other way. 1-0. Edwards connects. Here's the shot. And a save made by Kirk as he lays down on the ball. But now here's another shot. No goal. Crease violation. Sandy Chapman had to go into the crease. Toronto does not have a challenge left. They can't do a thing about it. And now with 1:49 to go in regulation. Wings 14. The Rock 13. Wings trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. Wings happy to hold on to the ball here and take the full 30. Now down to 10. Tries to hit Koleski, breaking it in the crease. Koleski now finding down low for it. 90 seconds to go in regulation. Saunders down there as well, along with Johnston for Toronto. And it's going to be Toronto who comes out with it this time. It's O'Connor who picks it up. Toronto and Greer trapped in the backfield. Flips it up top to O'Connor. Philadelphia has not gotten their defense out. Breaking, here's a shot. What a save made by Evan Kirk. Oh, flails the stick in the right hand and is somehow able to get a piece of that. And Evan Kirk, who's had an up and down year, a good year, but inconsistent, comes up big now. And with 1 minute to play in regulation, the Wings fans coming to their feet in the Wells Fargo Center. So now Philadelphia with 13 on the shot clock, trying to stretch this out. Toronto's going to get at least one more possession out of this one. The Wings put Sweeney back to cover on defense as Doyle's back trying to cherry pick. Shot clock winding down. 3, 2, and now the whistle stops play as the official calls. And now Rose goes to the bench. Extra attacker for Toronto, 6-on-5. Here we go. This is the game right here for the Toronto Rock.
The Wings really need to buckle down here. Don't give up anything crazy.
Doyle throws it down low to Sanderson, around to Hellier. Trying to find room. Here's a shot save made by Kirk, and now the shot clock turned off. Toronto, it's all down to this possession, and the whistle stops play. And a timeout has been called. 23.1 seconds left to go. We'll keep the action right here, everybody, as Dave Walls here, along with Bill Chris from the Wells Fargo Center. 59-58 shots on goal. How do you like your drama served up? You're getting it red hot here at the Wells Fargo Center. Dave Walls along with Bill Chris. And I tell you what, Bill, so we obviously know we're going to see a 6-on-5 extra attacker situation. The hot hand tonight has been Garrett Billings with 10 points on the night. Certainly, I wouldn't overlook maybe trying to set up Sanderson on a one-timer as well. He makes his living down by the crease, and certainly if they get some momentum, that would be who I would look for. Who would you look for in a play like this?
I tell you what, this Rock team is so talented, you really can't key on one single person, even though Billings is the guy that you know they probably want to go to, especially in these clutch situations. They have a plethora of people that they can go to.
They certainly do. They also got Colin Doyle. He got the overtime winner last week against Minnesota. You want to talk about clutch players, Toronto's got their hands full of them. Here we go down to the field, everyone. The last 23.1 seconds left. Again, an empty net situation, 6-on-5 for Toronto. If the Wings win, they break a 6-game losing streak. If Toronto scores, here we go to sudden death overtime. tell you what, the Wings fans here in Philadelphia, Bill, have not had a lot to cheer for here in 2014, but they're getting their hands full. Philadelphia has not won a game since February 1st, where they defeated Vancouver 15-9, and now here's a loose ball, somehow kept in by Billings. Clock running, 16 to go. Ball tied up near side boards. White out there fighting. Philadelphia's happy to tie this one up. Back official blows the ball dead. Loose ball violation against Philadelphia. 10.9 seconds left to go. Quick reset. Toronto shoots. Ball never gets through. Blocked away by Merrill. 6 seconds left to go. Ball knocked down again. Trying to find Billings. He can't get the stick on it. With one, the Philadelphia Wings have won it 14-13. The Philadelphia bench erupts. They celebrate. Evan Kirk standing strong in the final minutes of the game, and the Philadelphia Wings have pulled off the upset, and they stay alive in the 2014 playoff race.
How about that? What can you say about the Philadelphia Wings other than this team exemplifies this city? They are tough, they're willing to work, and these fans are letting them hear it. The loud and proud faithful are on their feet here at the Wells Fargo Center, celebrating this 14-13 Philadelphia Wings win.
And I tell you what, take nothing away from the way the Toronto Rock played in this one. That was one heck of a matchup coming down to the wire. Nick Rose had his shaky moments in this game as well. He made Philadelphia earn every goal, but we saw contributions down the line from the Wings and a complete 180 in attitude as well. As a team victory for the Philadelphia Wings, they will take the victory lap, and we'll take one as well with our post-game show coming up next. This is the National Lacrosse League. Welcome back one final time to the Wells Fargo Center as the Philadelphia Wings break a 6-game losing streak, and they defeat the Toronto Rock 14-13 to stay alive in the Eastern Division playoff race. Dave Walls along with Bill Chris, Maryland Insider, SportsInsider.com. We'll make sure I get the website right. As certainly we've seen exciting action here at the Wells Fargo Center, and really Philadelphia continues their spring dominance over the Toronto Rock. I don't know if I have any more explanation for it other than the fact that late in the season lately, the Wings have just had the Rock's number.
And, we've seen this many different years where, they go on a little bit of a slide, in this case a lot of a slide, but then they come back up by their bootstraps and they pick themselves back up.
And if certainly they needed to be picked up, and certainly in recent weeks, this Wings team had looked lost at times, outmatched at times, and they had to come out throwing they had to put it all down for 60 full minutes, and in the last minute of the game, Bill, we saw a team finally put 60 full minutes out on the field.
Yes, this, I will say, has been a complete Wings victory. Complete Wings victory.
We saw contributions immediately from Kyle Belton doing some great things out on transition, as well as breaking up a pass late in the game that helped swing momentum back the Wings' way, helping them cling to that 14-13 lead. 3 stars of the game, Bill. Why don't you go ahead and run down the 3 stars of the game? I think the number 1 star is going to be pretty obvious.
Yes, the guy that put the Wings on his back this evening, Kevin Crowley. Great game by him. Number 2, Kyle Buchanan, another solid effort by him, showing why we have him on this team. Great pickup by the Wings, adding him to the roster. And then number 3, Garrett Billings for Toronto. You cannot ignore the game that he had this evening.
No, certainly. Billings with 10 points. You can't ignore something like that. He gets the Hattie, 3 goals and 7 assists. Kevin Crowley, we talked about this team having a 180. Kevin Crowley's performance has to be at the top of that list, as he has had such an inconsistent year. And a lot of his goals have come in games where, by and large, the Wings are out of it. In this game, we need every one of those 6 goals, 3 assists, 4 loose balls. Kevin Crowley, no doubt that he gets the number 1 star of the game. Got a couple last stats for you. Evan Kirk, after being replaced briefly by Kevin Croswell, who I think had a decent effort off the bench tonight as well. Evan Kirk stands strong with 44 saves, picking up the win tonight. Nick Rose, can't take anything away from him as well. Good effort for Rosie, 44 saves and the loss. And face-offs, this will tell you how tight this game is. Face-offs were split 50-50. No team won the face-off battle tonight. Very very close matchup as Costabile and Hoare kind of did it in the first half. Toronto rebounded and had a better second half in the circle, and they split it 15 wins for each team. That will do it here from the Wells Fargo Center. Again, your final score, the Philadelphia Wings 14 and the Toronto Rock 13. For Bill Chris, executive producer John Barchard, Doug Fritz, and George Daniel, the National Lacrosse League, my name is Dave Wall, saying so long from the Wells Fargo Center. Final score, the Philadelphia Wings 14, the Toronto Rock 13. We say good night, everybody.